Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgment. It had to be Kai Havertz. You know what? If you didn't ask any Arsenal fan, it had to be Kai Havertz or it had to be Madueke, to be honest with you. Liam Rosenior with the passive approach of the game. Did he get it right? Did he get it wrong? Arsenal cruising to the final. A lot of people, again, the agendas will agenda. They are putting it on Arsenal for not playing offensive football. It's already starting by people. It's already starting. It's everywhere. Why did the game was boring? Why didn't Arsenal attack? Why did they wait for Chelsea? Why are they passing the ball? Why is this? Why is that? And bro, as if it was on Arsenal, and I'm not blaming Chelsea here. I'm blaming the manager. Me and Ads were talking before the show about, is it on the player? Is it on the manager? But why is the approach right away? If the Arsenal is at fault for this boring game, whatever you want to say, chess game, or whatever you want to say it, it's absolutely astonishing that I'm reading everywhere, oh my God, this game is boring. Why this game is boring? Why didn't Arsenal attack? Why do you want Arsenal to attack? It was on Chelsea to go and get their goal. Why did Liam Rosenior wait all that long to throw everyone forward? You needed a goal. You should have went for it. At least in the beginning, play your big players in the beginning. And then if you get a goal, you actually step back. Unless the cup is not important. And you are telling everyone. And also, just the last thing I'm going to say in my intro, I don't understand the commentators saying that Chelsea's approach is the right one. And at halftime, they were saying that Chelsea would be the happier of the both teams. And I'm like, are you watching a different game? Is that a different game for me? Like, am I watching a different game? Chelsea will be happy. Absolutely atrocious. But listen, big up everybody that is here. If you are here now, hit that like button, people, and subscribe. Arsenal going to the final. People are confident that Arsenal will win the cup, of course, but we'll talk about that on a different day. Hit that like button, people, if you guys are. You've got Ads joining us back. See, that's what I'm talking about people. Ads, or the people that say, oh, where has been Ads been, right? Where Ads have been, he's here after a loss, which proves one thing, that he's not hiding. Jaco's here after a loss. He's not hiding. You know, I just want to say that. I just want to put that on the record for the people that keep saying Chelsea fans hide. These guys agreed to do the show before the game. They didn't know the result. And it was very obvious that Arsenal are favorites going into this game. And that is what happened. Big up everyone that's here. Thank you so much for the first super chat. Appreciate the super chat and the donation all the way from Nigeria. 5 defenders, 2 DMs, 3 midfielders, and an 8 when they needed a goal, which is we're going to start there. Ads, talk to me. You said it's on the players. It's not.
Firstly, big up yourself, big up the panel, big up the chat listening. All right, so let's start from the beginning, which is Rafinha's options going into this game, right? Second leg, we're down a goal. What are his attacking options? For starters, Esteban, he just came back from Brazil. He literally just flew in and was there for 2 days because he had personal issues. Perhaps somebody passed away back home. We're not sure. The club has been kind of tight-lipped about it. So he only just came back pretty much earlier today, right? Palmer, fitness issues. We know that he wasn't necessarily fit to start this game. Again, this isn't an excuse, but I'm just saying why we had the options we had. Ultimately, we lost and we went out quite pathetically. So I'm very frustrated about that because we didn't really lay a cover on Arsenal. And yeah, you're right, Mo. The onus is on us, the team that's behind, to make the game. We're there to create the game, take the risk, and try and find a way to get to Wembley. And we didn't do enough of that for sure. But again, in terms of his options, obviously you're saying that why didn't Palmer and Esteban start? For me, they weren't fit or able to start. So obviously, if you've got those guys not able to start based on what Rafinha says, based on obviously medical influence from the medical team, also the board, also let's be honest, the board, they don't value this competition. Let's just be honest. Let's just get that out there because the winning prize for winning the Carabao is £100,000. For winning one single game in the Champions League, you get 1.8 million. Again, this isn't excuses. This again, I wanted to win this. The fans, Chelsea fans, want to win this. I'm telling you, the club itself. The Carabao Cup isn't as important to them, which is very frustrating for me. And that's why I was very mad when I saw we went into this game and our captain is rested and rotated for Wolves away. So just instantly seeing that just tells me what I need to know going into this game. But anyways, to you, Mo, I'll just ask you, if you know that Esteban and Palmer aren't necessarily fit to start, or if they start, they have to come off in the 60th minute. Can you not understand a little bit why Rafinha went with what he went with today tactically? Again, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, do you not understand?
No, I don't. I would start Palmer, try to get the goal, and maybe if Palmer is not fit, I would take him out. Also, you have other options. You have Garnacho. You didn't need to play 5 at the back. He didn't need to start 2 center backs. He could have played Joao Pedro. He could have played Enzo Fernandez in the 10. He could have played Garnacho. Garnacho is an attacking option. He scored already 2 goals against Arsenal. You know that it wasn't okay. Just to answer you, it wasn't about Palmer. Even if Palmer is not fit, you have Garnacho on the bench, quick guy. We know that Arsenal will have the ball. Quick guy, can play. I know he isn't. With all due respect, Garnacho is not a worse attacking option than having Cucurella as a wing back. You could have started Cucurella as a left back. You could have played Garnacho as an option and then brought Palmer later or Esteban. He went on with the mentality that I want this to be 0-0 and I'm gonna throw everything at them at the 60th or whatever minutes. And by that time, which is what I said in my match reaction, every minute that went by, Arsenal gained confidence. Every minute. You needed to shock Arsenal in the beginning for you to have a chance. You needed to shock Arsenal in the beginning to make them shook that it's not only them in the game. There are other people in the game. And Chelsea, with the Delap on the right winger and Joao Pedro, by the way, Joao Pedro had a magnificent game. He held Saliba, he held the ball, he turned Saliba plenty of times, he won free kicks. He didn't lose the ball once, by the way. But every time he turns, there is nobody because he's by himself. Because Cucurella is late, because Andre Santos is late, because Caicedo is late, because Enzo Fernandez is late. Right? He only looked up and it was Gabriel and Hincapi on Delap. He had no option.
Listen, it was a very low quality game. And obviously Arsenal didn't have to take much risk. We didn't take much risk until we went in to go to the last 30 minutes. And that's why, a lot of people were like, oh my days, Joao Pedro had a great performance and he was great for us. But it kind of goes to show the quality of the game if we're just talking about Joao Pedro winning fouls 50 yards from goal, right? That kind of just says the game. But again, I agree with most of what you said. And I agree, we went quite defensive because in terms of our options, yes, Garnacho's been horrible for us. And I definitely want him to be
He scored 2 goals against Arsenal
off the bench. When he's been effective this season, it's been off the bench. And then listen, based on what we had available, I would have started him. And this is where I was going back and forth with people, friends of mine, people in GCs I'm with, people on Don Show, which I'm on Mondays. And I'm saying, listen, as much as I don't like Garnacho, we may have to start him just because we haven't got any other attacking options. Gittins got an injury on the weekend. Again, like I said, Esteban Palmer aren't fit to start. We've let Facundo Buonanotte go. Tyreek George has been on loan to Everton now. So we have no other attacking options other than Garnacho. And I agree. I didn't understand
Tactically, by the way, he could have played 2 striker formation. He chose not to play two-striker formation.
Yeah, so I'm going to get to that now, because obviously in terms of the left side, Cucurella for me is not better going forward than Hato. Hato has more to his game going forward. Better dribbling, better touch, even a better shot. He scored a great goal against Charlton, but he's put Hato more defensively than Cucurella. That I didn't understand. The lap right wing, again, I didn't really like that either. And again, in terms of his skill set there, you could have just put Garnacho there, because the game plan was very clear for Delap just to go to the byline and just try and whip in the first time cross low, and that was really it. So it wasn't great. But again, in terms of the game plan, right, ultimately, what Rossinha wanted to happen actually happened. He got to 60 minutes, Arsenal were pretty much nullified, and we were in the game. He made his subs, and at that point, then it's on the players in the 30 minutes game. And listen, in 30 minutes, it's not easy to score against Arsenal, because Arsenal they've been very good this whole season, and defensively, they've been the best team in Europe for a couple of years now, defensively, right? So if you only give yourself 30 minutes to win the game against Arsenal, it's not easy. But that being said, we love to talk about managers and tactics and all this stuff. Let's try and focus more on the players that are on the pitch, because they were there for 30 minutes. It was only 30 minutes, but 30 minutes we had our attacking players on the pitch. And what did they create? They didn't create anything. They were poor. And not only that, the immaturity that I saw, the fouls that we were giving away, the poor touches, the poor, again, the last 10 minutes, right, where you're making that last stand, and Arsenal, okay, I'm feeling a little bit of pressure. The fans are like, okay, a bit jittery. We're so close to Wembley now, and just trying to put pressure. How many good crosses did we put into the box, bro?
None.
So that's what I'm on the players, because at that point, it's on the players. The manager is giving you a platform. Maybe it's only 30 minutes, but at least it's something. It's 30 minutes. You're there. Go and try and win the game. At least get to extra.
But don't you think that's naive though? Don't you think that's naive from your manager to come and give your players 30 minutes against, according to you, the team with the best defense for the last couple of years in Europe? Like, if you set yourself up that way already, you've already set your players up to fail. You're talking about a team that, you know, a lot of the goals we've conceded this season have not been goals where they've cut through Arsenal. They've been wonder goals. They've been wonder strikes from outside the box. Boom, boom. Like, teams are not even able to cut through the defense, and then you give your players 30 minutes. I think that's unfair to the players, because now you're asking them to perform magic in 30 minutes. If you guys had come in at the very beginning of the game, Magay, Gui, play Garnacho, put people. Listen, hear me out. You might not rate them, right? Because what we did was we sat back and said, let them have the ball. You had more possession, bro. You had more possession. You had 14 shots, if I'm not mistaken. I think you guys had, let me see, you had 14 shots on target, right? No, 14 shots in total and only 2 on target.
Yeah.
We had 5 shots and 2 on target. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you'd have given yourselves better options with attacking players. Whether or not it went in, at least we would feel the pressure. And I think if we felt the pressure, maybe our manager could have said, okay, guys, now let's push on. And then the game becomes open. But I knew one thing for sure, and I said this before. I said, if Chelsea opens up to play, which is what you did in the last 10 minutes, if you open up to play, every team that has done that against Arsenal this season has been punished. Every team that has come and opened up play.
Before we go deep, guys, I just want to say something. Big up everyone that joined us from the Football Terrace, from Terry Flowers stream, of course. Big up everyone. Hit that like button, guys. We got over 1,000 people in the house. Appreciate you, Terry, for the redirect. Hit that like button, people. I actually went to bed and I woke up and I hit 50,000 subscribers. I want to thank everyone that is always supporting us. Everyone that is, I could not dream to be on 50,000 subscribers today. It's only been 2 years since I started this channel, 2 years and a couple of months. 50,000 subscribers. This is something I could not imagine. It's all with the support of all the content creators that donated their time. All the guys here have done a lot of shows with me. All the other people that are absolutely have done shows with me. 50,000 subscribers is a massive thing for me. I didn't think that I would be here today, but I'm 30,000 with all the people that supported the channel. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's not by my work. It's by you guys. It's by the people that show us love in the comment section. It's actually by the content creators. I didn't do this myself. If it wasn't for my fellow content creators and my friends that actually support me, especially the guys here, of course, that are here with me today, I would not have been on 50,000 subscribers. It's a massive achievement for me. To support the channel, as always, hit that like button, people. Let's get this show to 500 likes live. The like button looks like thumbs up underneath, so live chat, guys, and hit that like button. I remember when I used to be like on 1,000 subs or 2,000 subs. That wasn't far ago, and I appreciate everyone that is here, all the people that supported me, all the content creators. Thank you so much. You made this a job for me. I appreciate you so much, people.
Bless up, bro. And you guys, man, 50,000 more. Congratulations. I was going to say that when I got to speak, but again, 1,300 videos, bro. You're putting in the work. 1,300 videos, people. Like, you need to understand the volume, because I work.
Look at all the agendas, the mogendas in that
like
13,000 videos.
1,300 videos. You need to understand the volume of work that is being done here. So, man, you know what? Congratulations, guys. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Let's get this channel up to 60. Go on. The more likes you smash, the more people get to see the video. The more people that come on board, the more we get them to subscribe. So let's get back to the Chelsea agenda.
Yeah, go on. You're making some really good points, Dio.
Yes, Martin. Yes, Martin.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, Martin.
You know that, what is it, the Hot Ones meme where he's like, look at us. Can you believe it? Can you look at us? We're going to Wembley, Mo. Can you believe it?
Listen, 6 years later, you are in a final. 6 years later.
You're coming with us. We wouldn't have been here without you in that Arsenal.
You know what? I'm going to say something. I was telling him, I was so happy, actually, because in the last weekend, finally, I got the time to do reaction for the Chelsea comeback, Man United win, and also we did the Liverpool show later when we did the match reaction. We did the Man City reaction. I was so happy that the views for all these videos were very, very good. Like, that people listen to what I say, and people finally, Man United fans especially, finally admitting that, oh my God, finally, Mo, we believe now you don't have an agenda. You actually analyze the game without an agenda. So I was happy about this.
I'll give my commentary quickly on Rosenior. I feel like I don't understand what his plan was. If you're playing Cole Palmer 90 minutes last game, then starting him off the bench in this game, it feels like either his plan had to change because of, I think there was late injuries. Was it to Reece James and Gusto? No. Was there two guys missing?
Reece James and Neto.
Neto, yeah, okay. But I don't see how you can start with a back. I mean, I know he was trying to like win the ball off us up high. He was doing this 5-6 man like hybrid press. They were trying to get us basically with the ball at Kepa's feet and then get like a cheap goal that way. And then they were taking down most of the long balls. So it was kind of working. But once we got to halftime, I was like, if this is how these guys want to play, I'm happy for a 0-0. And it pretty much turned out like a 0-0. It was just going to be like, let's see who can defend better. And I was surprised Chelsea really never really got into gear at any point. There was no desperation there. So I don't know. I blame the players, but also I think Rosenior came with like maybe a plan that was destined to fail.
The only thing is, I would just say, is it is very fine margins, because obviously if it did work, then we're calling him a tactical genius on whatever else, right? And obviously, I'm not here to just blanketly defend his tactics. Again, I said that you can implement those tactics and be, let's say reserved, but then not play Cucurella left wing or utilize the way the lap was utilized, because his profile does not suit playing right wing. We agree on these things, right? Obviously, at the same time, if you don't have Palmer and Esteban, in your opinion, fit, which is also an opinion and a decision that was actually taken above his head, given all the briefings that we get from the club, right? If that's the case, and obviously you are slightly handcuffed in terms of what you can do.
But I want to put a comment up. Hold on. I want to put a comment up that was a response to ads saying that nullified. We were up already. The onus were on Chelsea, because you said that you nullified Arsenal. But Arsenal didn't need to be nullified. They didn't need to be nullified
ourselves as well. We nullified the whole game, bro. I could have missed the show if I fell asleep, because I was very close, bro. The game was not good at all.
But that's the thing about it. Like, you're nullifying a game where you are down already. Like, you start the game where you need a goal. So you nullifying the game is mute. It's a mute choice to make, because it's not going to get you what you need. What you need
just to push back slightly on that, if I can, because when we played open against you at Stamford Bridge, obviously without an ideal 11, because even that day we had, again, no excuses, is just the truth, which has come out. We had a sickness bug which came out, which meant that we had to change the 11 on the day of the game. So because we didn't have our ideal 11, we still went for the game, and we saw how open we were.
I agree, but again,
it was just risk management from Rosenior.
But look at the result of that game at Stamford Bridge. You went for the game and you got a 3-2. All you had to do, I know
Man United won again. Man United scored 3 against Arsenal. Why didn't Rosenior believe that he can score against Arsenal? Why did they have this belief that he's already trying to nullify Arsenal from scoring first before he's going for the game to score? Why wasn't the plan, I am going to try to do what Man United do, I'm going to trust my people, and I'm going to try to go for the game? Why did it have to be nullify Arsenal first?
United Okay, for starters, I agree that you don't need to overly compensate and nullify Arsenal. Arsenal are great defensively. They have a really good midfield. Their attack works great off the ball, but they're not free flowing. You could take the risk and maybe risk having your centre backs 1v1 with Gyökeres. He's not in great form. Madueke, a couple of nice dribbles was wasteful. I agree.
Thank you. Martinelli, Gyökeres, Madueke, bro, leave 3 defenders on them. Leave 4
didn't
defenders
really
on
do
them.
anything all game, right?
That being said,
Who?
Man United, that being said, I see your point of view, Mo, with that, but I just need to say, Man United's attackers available that day when they beat Arsenal 3-2 were way better than the attackers that we had available to start this game. To start this game, who we had available was João Pedro, obviously in quality form, great, but then Delap, we decided to put Cucurella left wing, which I don't agree with, and then Garnacho. That's not comparable to Mbeumo, Cunha, who scored a great goal. Like, come on, it's not.
Yeah, but it's not about just comparing them. It's also about giving yourself the best chance of putting the ball in the back of the net or even threatening our goal. Again, for me, it's like you said, small margins, right? If you can add 5% more threat by bringing in Palmer early, having Esteval on the pitch so that he can, he gets a good feel. Again, this gives you a 5-10% extra chance of getting into the Arsenal box. And if you take that away from the players, by the time you bring them in at the 60th minute, the other guys are tired. So now you're expecting these fresh legs who you're giving only 30 minutes to perform a miracle, to literally carry the whole team and find a way to score. João Pedro is tired. He's not keeping up pace with Palmer anymore. Esteval is over, running the ball at this point because João is tired. And, so again, as a manager, I think that this was a learning curve for him. For Arsenal, we didn't need to do anything. We just needed to sit and make sure we don't concede a goal. We're already up. Yeah, and to me, this second leg is the second half of the game. I see it as a 45-minute game. I looked at this whole night. The first 45 was at Stamford Bridge. We did what we needed to do. We had a 1-goal lead. This is the second 45. If we can sit through this 45 for me and not even concede a goal, as long as we're not conceding, we're going to the final. So the responsibility was on Chelsea to actually come out and find a way to score. And you took away, I looked at your lineup. You have 5 defenders and 2 DMs.
There's so many options you could have done on the pitch. You can have no personnel, but he could have actually played Garnacho on the left, João Pedro on the right, Delap up top, Enzo Fernandez at the 10. Instead, he went with Enzo and Andre Santos and Caicedo being a little bit more defensive. And I don't understand it. You can actually, it doesn't matter the personnel that you're playing. You could choose to do something different with the players you have. He chose not to. As you said, as he was instructed, don't push for this game, Rosinia. You know what I felt? I felt that Chelsea went to this game and Rosinia wanted to save his dignity and save his face. And he didn't want to be smashed. And he didn't want to give Arsenal a chance to actually go up because he knew that if they went up, he would have to go more for it. And now he can get slapped at the Emirates. And now that puts a dent in the confidence that has been building up over the last 4 or 5 games. I think that approach is cowardish. Cowardish. In my opinion.
The big man's in the building.
Yeah.
I do see your line of thinking there for sure. Again, for me, I get it, and that's why I'm not going to defend him too much. I do feel like we could have taken more risk, and obviously he's made some mistakes, but I expect it. We didn't sign, Antonio Conte or Diego Simeone, a proven manager in his prime. We've signed a manager who's come from the French league, and who previously and that was in the Championship. So he's skipped many levels to be now managing at one of the top clubs in world football. So I get he's going to make some mistakes on one. It's going to be a bit of a learning curve.
Also, are the players not good enough? Okay,
that's my thing, though. Last 30 minutes, no, but just last 30 minutes. Would you not have expected more from Palmer? That's
what I'm saying. You had Enzo Fernandez, you had João Pedro, you had Esteban on the pitch, you had Garnacho. Bro, are we saying that the Chelsea team is not good enough to make one clear-cut chance?
That was my frustration.
One.
No, Enzo Fernandez got to the edge of the box 3 times in this game.
And blasted it.
Roll Z, bro. 2 of them ended up in roll Z. The first one was an easy save for Kepa, so I get it. I get the tactics were very, very pragmatic, as Mourinho as it gets, right? But at the end of the day, he gave them a platform to do something. And in those last 30 minutes, I still expect more from my attackers. I expect more from Caicedo in those last 20 minutes. I expect more from Enzo in those last 20 minutes. I expect us to get a cross into the box. We didn't even manage that. And listen, let me be honest. In the last 20 minutes, the most likely chances to score from Arsenal. Cucurella had one nice block as well. Chalobah had that last-ditch tackle on Martinelli. So where
It's
were
a
our
penalty, by the way.
moments?
It's a penalty. Penalty.
He got the ball.
Yeah.
He got the ball.
He got the ball and then he
tackle.
kicked him. It's a penalty. I play football and I know exactly what he did. He got the ball, yes.
And he
But
left
then he
one
saw
on
that he did,
Yeah.
but he
Lifted
said
his
that
leg.
he saw that he didn't clear it, so he left his left foot to actually trip Martinelli. You get in the ball, it doesn't mean that it's not a penalty. In my books, he literally impeded him from getting the ball, in my
He's got
opinion.
the ball cleanly. Yeah, there was a bit of
No,
a
no, but
Yes.
again, no, but you have
I
to
know,
realize.
you
Don't look
didn't
at-
hear what I said. He got the
I
ball
heard you,
clearly, but he realized he didn't clear it out, and there is still a chance. So
the
he
ball was
tripped
still in
him.
front of Martinelli. Yeah, the ball, like
Yes,
when Martinelli jumped,
100%.
if his leg was not down, he didn't catch Martinelli. Martinelli could have still.
And
gone
he
to-
didn't. Even the commentator was saying that's an intentional trip. Definitely an intentional trip. But
It was smart that he did it. But again, all the chat are
Smart.
agreeing that it wasn't.
But again, for me, this is why.
immaterial because it doesn't really matter. But again, my
it
thing
doesn't
is-
really matter. I don't want to stay. I don't want to. But I
Again,
get your point. Arsenal were closer to win
And
at
that's
the
what I
end.
think. So we opened up the game, and again, obviously, we've taken that risk, and then Arsenal had all the chances and ended up scoring. And like we created nothing in that. So again, I'm not saying that that's vindication for not opening up the game earlier. My thing is opening up the game means I'll expect something from our players, and that's why I put onus on the players because in that moment, who stood up? Nobody stood up.
No one
And-
stood up.
Again, when you spend this much money on building the squad and all these things, I expect more from my players. Again, when I saw Esteban Palmer warming up, Arsenal fans would text me saying, "Oh, I'm a bit worried. They might do something," and I was like, "You know what? They might." And
I feel like it was an admission that he can't go toe to toe with us. I feel like he's proud of this performance and in his results. He said that like no one comes to Arsenal and plays like this. It's like I understand it's scary. Like if you open up, we would go down to PSG in the Champions League semi-final. We went away and we had to go at it, and we paid the penalty for it. They scored on us while we were like all out attacking. So you're going to lose either way, right? But I don't feel like he came to that with a feeling like they were our equals. They were like, okay, we'll contain Arsenal, and then we'll do something from there once we've survived 60 minutes. I'm here at Arsenal thinking like, I thought you guys would come out of the blocks and just try and wipe us off the park, but
Let me
it
ask you a
never
question. Let me
happened.
ask you a question. Wouldn't you have been happier if you guys came all out today and then we still beat you like 3-2? Like you scored 2 goals at the Emirates, and the final thing is 6-4, 6-5, or whatever the case is, right? Or you go all out and you score 3-3, right? But again, that puts or something. The point is,
if we went for this game and lost 3-0, I would prefer it than losing like this.
that's my point. That's my
Losing
point.
like
Yeah.
So from
Like
yeah,
this,
so, yeah.
It
And
makes
that's-
it work, to be honest. And my thing is, obviously, I get he has some inbuilt excuses because of injuries, blah blah blah. Obviously,
Oh, no,
he's
I get all of that.
So my thing is, okay, I hate losing and I hate giving up cups, especially to Arsenal. But in isolation, I can take it given how we started in results in terms of how we started in this job. But March 1st, we go to the Emirates again. Ideally, Palmer's fit and there's no excuses with their Esteban, whatever. Because my man's obviously said the point that we were scared to go toe to toe. There's no excuse not to go toe to toe when we have all our players fit and available. So if everybody's fit as I expect them to be, or in better form or whatever it is, going into that game in the league, then we have to leave that game with something. We can't lose again to Arsenal. At that point, it's
Yeah, I mean, again, I hear you. I'm just I understand where you're coming from as that's your club. That's as a fan. I just think like even when you don't have everybody fit, then just go all out and go out fighting. Do you know something like let your young players be on the pitch going out fighting and be like, all right, cool. We lost this game, but we gave it 110%. I think
it was like a coward's approach, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like I not like that.
Yeah, you haven't
not
spoken.
like
Go ahead, Jacob. Tell me what you think about Chelsea, because you yesterday were saying that you wanted your team to go for it, to try to do what Man United did.
Exactly. So that's why I was really disappointed with this result.
Why are you wearing AC Milan shirt?
Like,
why are you not wearing Chelsea shirt?
scared.
This is what I'm asking. Why are you?
my Chelsea
No,
shirt.
go ahead. I'm
is
joking.
dirty
I'm
right
joking.
now.
I'm joking.
The curtains match
Yeah.
the drapes.
But all right, bruh. But yeah, when it comes down to the tactics, I was so bored with this match. It was just a snooze fest, and it made sense why Arsenal just they were okay with the draw because they, of course, they had the advantage, and we did not look like we wanted to go for this match until the last 30 minutes. And then in the last 30 minutes, you could see like my attackers like no type of motivation, no type of will, no type of hunger. And especially with Enzo, I got so frustrated with Enzo, like what Ads was saying. So much times Enzo gets the ball on the box, and I'm like, bro, Enzo, João Pedro is not Nico Jackson. I know if it was Nico Jackson, yeah, ignore him sometimes, take a shot. But this guy, when he gets the ball in the final third, especially in the form he's been on, trust your striker, man. Give your striker at least one chance. one chance, at least one chance. João Pedro is doing all the dirty work. He's pressing. He's doing a great job holding up the ball. I love this performance, even though he didn't really get a lot of chances in offense today. I love this performance. He was keeping up the ball, showing fight, and we don't reward him with anything to work with. And, you know, Palmer comes on a little bit lackadaisical.
You know,
Esteval, you know, he's trying to do something, but
I'm gonna say something.
yeah, it's
I'm gonna say that.
fight.
I'm gonna say this for the people before I do a couple of super chats.
Havertz.
I was on
is
the
so
Chelsea train. Ads know this. Jaco know this.
You on every
I
train,
was-
bro. Respectfully.
No, I'm not. No.
You were on the top
Who
of the
had-
train as well at one point.
No, that's 2 years ago under Ange Postecoglou. They won two
You
thing
were
games.
arguing in pre-season that Tottenham have a better.
No.
I call
This
him
one,
AFTV mode.
The starting 11 still for Spurs is not as bad as they show.
He got
They
brainwashed by
showed
that
when they
little guy.
played. Chelsea, to be honest with you, Chelsea, have we lost stocks in the Chelsea team? Like Enzo Fernandez last season, who's one of the best midfielders. Numbers show it. Assists, goals, everything. Caicedo started the season on fire. I didn't think he had a bad game. Esteval started the season. He was good. He was doing this. I am not sure what happened. Is it a mentality problem at Chelsea? Is this a mentality thing at Chelsea? Because I guarantee you, Enzo Fernandez has more in the tank than what he's showing. He's a better player than what he's showing. Esteval is better than what he's showing. Palmer is better than what he's showing now. These guys are better than this. Is it a mentality thing? Is that Chelsea team now performing at 70% of their ability? And you got to put your hands on why. Why
They
is these
did.
Chelsea players are doing this? And it has
They
been
did.
going for a bit now. It has been going for a while. Since the last days of Enzo Maresca.
Games no more.
No, since the last bit of Enzo Maresca. And I don't know, how can I put my hands on it? Is it the players that have stopped believing in the project because of the summer
No.
window?
No. I mean, there's maybe a bit of fatigue, obviously, given all the very congested schedule that we have. Also, we've not been proving it like Arsenal, Liverpool, City in recent years of being able to compete in the Premier League and do well while also being in a proper competition in Europe. Because we've done it in the Conference League last season, but we could have our A team, B team, and play against, you know, farmers from Ireland, Poland, wherever. It didn't really matter.
Yeah.
So, like, that was different, right? We have to prove that this season, and obviously you can see it's affecting us, right? But again, I'm not going to fully crash it and be like, oh, players haven't turned up or whatever. Enzo's having a pretty good season, and he's coming to this game in really good form. I mean, I thought he was pretty bad today, especially from what I expect from a player of this caliber. But no, he's been in good form. Again, his numbers are up there with the best midfielders in the league. Caicedo started off the season off great. Obviously, of recent, it's been up and down games. Esteban has been up and down just mainly due to availability, because there's been little flus and knocks, and then the family issue now. So, like, this has been very stop and start. And for me, obviously, our two most important players in terms of positions, right? Obviously, our most important attacker, Palmer. Obviously, most of the season he's been out injured. That's not been helpful. And losing Colwell at the start of the season meant that we had a really big hole in our defense that we didn't replace. And till now, we've not replaced it, really. So all these things are an issue, and it's meant we had a stop-start season. But currently, we are in the hunt to get Champions League football again. We got to a cup semi-final. We didn't get over the line against a
Do you
good team.
trust your team to get Champions League football over Man United and Liverpool?
Yes, I do. It's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be tough, but I do trust them. I do back them. As long as, again, Palmer's fit, and obviously Palmer being fit is one thing. He needs to show his best form, because it's been a little while since we've seen that, and I agree. But given what Palmer can do at his best, what Esteban can do if he gets to run in the team, and obviously João Pedro in his current form, we should have enough to get top 5. But it's not going to be easy. United have a free season. They play one game a week, the whole season, 40 games. That's never been heard of before. For our top
But that's
team.
why you spend the money to have the squad.
Yeah, but we saw the squad against West Ham, bro. Some players just aren't good enough. And like, listen, again, we spent the money, but random. 95 million on Garnacho and Gittins. Does anybody here think that was going to be good business before the summer? Nobody thought that was good business. And even now, it looks even worse than what we thought it was going to be. So, yeah, man, we spent the money, but we didn't spend it wisely. In a lot
I'm
of
going to
ways.
say it again. Cole Palmer, yes, he has been injured, but I know that he has been injured. I know the ability is there. Cole Palmer has to prove to people that he can go back to the good form that he was 2 seasons ago and half of last season. We are not, no player takes it for granted. Even Saka, that had a very good 3 seasons back to back with 20 plus GA. Now people are starting to say, Saka, you need to do better. You need to do better. This Cole Palmer, every time he plays, he's like a little bit slower. He's half step behind. He has to show the ability again. He's not going to take a spot for granted. People say that Cole Palmer on ability is the best 10 in the league. Fair. But you aren't. You aren't now showing people that you are the best 10 in the league. You aren't.
Do you think that there's a problem with the squad in that it's not built in a way where it's designed around helping one particular player or making like a team thing? I feel like all the players have been bought as like very strong individual players. Like Esteban wants to get the ball, he wants to run with it. Palmer wants to get the ball, he wants to run with it. Pedro wants to get the ball, he wants to run with it. Like there's no one like set up to be like a supplier. Maybe Neto, but he's a little bit like of a headless chicken sometimes. So I don't know. I just don't feel like it's been put together in a cohesive way where someone is the target and someone is the creator and someone is the legs and some, you know, they're all trying to do the same job. And I don't know whether
the main viewpoint with a lot of our signings is how can we buy a guy who has a decent value and asset, and how can we build upon that? So that in 3-4 years time their value goes up, so that if we do need to sell them, we can sell them, or in the case of Palmer, we can keep a hold of them. That's the main thought process of these directors, which is why my main issue, the core issue at this club, is the directors and the transfer strategy, because it's just not good. When you spend this much money and your squad is this depleted and is lacking in so many key areas, and then when you rotate against West Ham, we put out one of the worst first halves of our whole season, if not the worst. So yeah, you're right. We've not built a squad properly in terms of like building it to be cohesive. But we do have a lot of really quality players in the squad. I'm not gonna now deny it.
I want to go back to the Palmer situation before people that say that he needs surgery, fine.
In the groin,
the same situation happened with Bukayo Saka when people said that Bukayo Saka was playing with injury, and no one cut him slack. No one cut Bukayo Saka slack. No one said that he's playing with injury. They were
they were making little videos.
They were making memes of him. They were making him about limping, right? Everyone. Now, all you Chelsea fans in the chat, and I know all of you. You guys have been watching the channel for a while. A lot of you were making fun, especially Martin here, when he said that Saka's playing with injury, right? People said, not an excuse. If you're injured, don't play. If you step on the pitch, you gotta perform. Cole Palmer, now the club is allowing him to play. He needs to perform. Otherwise, go and get the surgery. Go and get the surgery so you can go back to your best. Because the media is not going to cut you some slack. The media is not going to pat you on the back. You go and get... By the way, Phil Foden had personal issues, and he was getting slated left and right when he didn't perform. Cole Palmer, the standards of Cole Palmer, by the way, is higher than a lot of people at Chelsea. Why? Because he had that season. He had 37 GA. He was arguably, for me, he was the best player in the league. I know that a lot of Foden won it, but Palmer that season was the best player in the league. You got to live up to that standard again.
I want to say something as regards to like Rosinha. I think we need to forget the game today as a Chelsea club. You guys need to cut the man some slack, and I'll tell you why. There's something Martin said right now, which is you have players that actually are individually strong and very talented. You know, the Estavals, the net, like they all want to run, Palmer, everything. I think from what I've seen from him, I think he might be able to build a system where these guys work together and work for each other, right? As a team. And then when you need that magical moment, they can always produce it. And I think right now, after 7 games in charge, 8 games, it's not enough for us to begin to beat the guy over the head with, you know. I'm not.
I'll have a try. I want to say that, like, he did say he was good at man aging, and we all aged about 90 minutes watching that game. So,
so cringe, bro.
Let me do this quickly. Congratulations on 50K. Thank you, Mo. You didn't need to do that. Appreciate you, Habibi, so much for this. Thank you so much. You are part of me reaching 50K, and I appreciate you for contributing to the channel. Always, my friend. Big up, guys. Chelsea fans. Oh my god. Oh my god. Big up, my man. My man, Emick, as an Arsenal fan, can we please limit Dayu's analysis? He just goes on and read the same shit, talk about I don't know what that word means.
This guy is a Nigerian. Nigerians do that to their fellow Nigerians. They'll just come online and slate their. He's a Nigerian. He's a Igbo boy. Emeka, I know you. I don't see your name. Not even. No, not friendly. I don't know him personally one on one, but the name I've seen it. That's what then they do. Nigerians. Send him the link. Let him come and say his own bloviating here. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. Thank you for sending it in. Thank you for supporting the channel. You know. That's it. That's all I have
Come
to say.
on, come on, have your say. United scored 3 from 3 shots on target, 1 mistake, 2 blinders, not likely to be replicated. Should have attacked immediately in the second half, though. Yeah, but that shows that Arsenal
That's why
are
I'm
in.
coming.
Yeah, Arsenal, Chelsea should have the quality.
It should've been
Unless we
half-time,
okay,
really.
hold on. Unless we are saying that United have better quality than Chelsea. If people say that United have better quality than Chelsea, fine.
In attack, they do. And in terms of videos that are available, by far, bro. Because what do we have available to start? Garnacho, Delap, João Pedro, Cucurella, we put left wing. Like, their attacking options were just better that day. So
Yeah, let me. There is a comment I'm gonna do after the super chat. Playing Delap on the wing
bro.
was the
Oh
funniest
my
shit.
God.
Maybe we should try it with Eucharist just for vibes. Big up Gunners for going Wembley and Mo for 50k. Big up my man Kika, always supporting.
Whenever
Um,
do vibes, we'll tell you whenever do vibes.
Kingsley here. The last thing before I want to speak about Arsenal because I haven't been speaking about Arsenal lately. I need Chelsea to miss out on top 5. That's a Chelsea fan actually saying that. I don't know
He
why.
wants the model
you
to
want-
change. He wants the model to change. That's why. He wants them to see that it's not working, so they could change the model and make drastic change. That's why.
it won't change if we miss out on top 5. If anything, it will
Yeah,
enable
that-
us
and that's
to
the
not show
sad
ambition
truth.
to actually buy. So
That's the sad truth. It won't change shit.
There seems to be a lot of Chelsea fans in the chat that are convinced that Chelsea were the better side by a country mile.
that's
Royal
what-
Obsidian seems to be obsessed saying that we
Bro,
parked the bus. I don't
think it
really
was
know
like
if there was much between those teams.
there was no better side in my opinion. I think
Yeah.
both sides was just like they were trying to attack, but the defense. If anything, I would give the defenses a good shout today.
Yeah,
They
I
did
mean,
their
you're right. There was no better side, but the onus was on Chelsea because we were already 1-0 up. So it was
Yeah,
like, you know what?
exactly.
So it was always like for us, it was a case of you don't have to go all out. You don't have
Yeah.
to. You just contain the game. For us, you guys did the containing for us. You're trying to contain us from scoring, and we were just like, yeah, we don't even want to score yet. Like we don't have to. And then you guys played that with us, and so
Yeah.
and like I said, I think this is a good learning curve for Rosinha. I will not beat the guy over the head. I mean, you guys have had 5 games back to back that you've won under Rosinha. You might not like the performances, you might not like the way you've looked, but he's found ways to win. And when a manager can do that and make one mistake in between, it's a new squad for him. He's still figuring out a lot of these players. And he's jumped into a Chelsea team that is playing Champions League, Premier League, Carabao Cup. There's no time to train. You played a game 2-3 days ago. There's no
That is
time for
true.
him to train. He jumps in again, makes a strategy, comes against Arsenal. There's no time. So I'm not going to sit here and, because I would say the same for my manager if he had just joined us. So again, kudos to him for trying his strategy, which again, he probably wanted something more psychological. He thought to himself, if I can wear these guys down, they'll make a mistake at the end and I can counter in the last 20 minutes and I can score a goal. We can go to penalties. Fair enough. Maybe it didn't work, but it's not the end of the world, man.
Yeah.
About Arsenal, though, who was the best player for Arsenal today?
Samina, waka waka, 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again.
It wasn't Gyökeres. I'd say maybe Gabriel for me, or
Hincapié for me today was my best player.
Saliba.
No,
Saliba was having a hard time. Pedro was like
Hincapié
walking him
was
all
my
over
guy.
the place. But
Yeah, Pedro's
Why? You know what? When I did my match reaction, the only negative I said today was Hincapié.
I wouldn't say it was a negative. He didn't do much.
I
going
can
forward,
I
but he
can
didn't
explain
allow-
why. I can explain why. I know a lot of people are saying Hincapié was good. I actually have a very, very bad observation about Hincapié. Plenty of times, the guy gets to the byline. So I understand if you're building from the back and you're keeping the ball and passing. But to work the ball all the way between Martinelli, Rice, and Hincapié and get Hincapié to a position where he can put in a cross, where Timber already made the run, Zubamendi made the run, Madueke made the run, and you have Eucharist inside, and choose not to create the half yard and cross. For me, you are a center back. You are a left center back in a back 3 or a left center back. Mikel Arteta plays him at left back. So if you're going to ask him to do the overlap and support Martinelli, when he reached the byline, I want to see a product. I want to see a product from the fullback. You isolate Cucurella for choosing the simple ones. Let me just finish this. Isolate Cucurella for choosing the simple one. But lately, Cucurella, when he reached the final third, he whipped in a cross. He puts a cross in the 18. He makes the play happen. I don't think that it's instructions from Mikel Arteta for the left back to reach the byline and go all the way back to recycle the ball.
But how many
Why is
times
he
did that
not putting
happen?
the
That was
cross
only
in?
like That must have been like once or twice the entire game. We barely had
the problem that
overlap.
happened a lot of times in the last games. It's not only this game. I've been noticing this for a while.
So you're using more than this game.
I've been noticing this. I spoke about it the last game. I spoke about it the game before. When Hincapié playing, the difference between him and Calafiori is Calafiori is brave. Calafiori, when he reaches the final third, he makes things happen as a left back. And I'm saying this many times. The teams are like Arsenal, Chelsea, United, Man City, and Liverpool. Your fullbacks, I know that they are being asked to defend. But Timber defends, but he also contributes offensively. Timber today, I saw a cross. Timber is battling it with the defenders of Chelsea, trying to get to the ball. So it cannot be instructions that he's asking Hincapié to go all the way to the line to pass it back. I think he's asking him to go either make something happen there, cut back, or go forward. Because by the way, that cut back from Martinelli, he left it for Eze. He could have touched the ball and make things happen. I think that for a fullback that play for Arsenal Football Club, one of the most attacking teams out there in Europe, the left back need to provide an end product across something like that. This is my analysis.
I don't know. That's a fair enough analysis. From but then you also have to put into context the fact that the way this game was set up today, Hincapié doesn't want he might not, his crosses may not be the best right now, so he doesn't want to take the risk of losing the ball and then trying to recover really quickly. When you have a Delap that can actually be running down that flank because he's left that whole back open. So it's Gabriel one-on-one with João Pedro and Delap on him already. So again, it's a case of take control of this game. I guarantee you, because we've seen Hincapié when he had the chance to shoot, he took a shot today.
That was a great shot.
Yeah,
That's a great
shot.
That best shot of the day.
That Kepa saved, and Gabriel, just because he was not, he didn't realize the ball was coming to him. Yeah, it bounced off him. When he had the chance to shoot and create stuff, he did. I will guarantee you that the manager told them, control the game when you have the ball.
At the byline? Control the game at the byline.
There was one time where he should have crossed it, but
there's one time where.
But I've been noticing this, Martin. I know today it happened once or twice, but I've been noticing this lately.
Look at the stats today. He won 7 of 8 of his ground duels.
Great defensive display.
3 tackles, 1 out of 5.
Martin. 10 out of 10 defensive display. Even when Estevao and Palmer came on. 10 out. See, people don't understand. I am giving him a 10 out of 10 defensive display. But when I analyzed Cucurella back in the days, I said, Cucurella, 10 out of 10 defensively. The guy is a rock at the back. But I need to see more from the fullback that play for these top clubs going forward. That's why you don't play for Everton.
But that's a preference thing for you. You need to see more from the fullback. The manager might decide, hey, I don't want you doing this because I need your recovery quickly. When you get there, find Martinelli, find somebody on the inside forward, find Eze, let them do the creativity. You drop back a little bit, or you come inside, which is where he had the opportunity to shoot. So the manager could give them instructions just because you have a preference for fullbacks to play for top clubs to actually create more chances. Some managers don't want to play like that against a certain team. Because in other games, we've seen him create a couple of chances. Hincapié has put in a bunch of crosses for us this season in games when he has played.
To Madueke, wasn't it? That early cross to Madueke.
Yeah, I think he was even the one that gave Madueke in the Champions League, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Champions League?
That was Bayern,
Madueke's assist for.
No, that was Calafiori that did the assist.
Was it Calafiori?
I think
he came off the bench as well, and then he.
The Kika here is saying, fair point. I think if you play him with White, it's okay, but him and Timber is too defensive.
That's true.
But it's not his fault. His job is to just be a good defender. MLS has got a different job of inverting. Calafiori is like a unicorn that just goes wherever he wants. I think we just have them stick to your role, stick to what you're good at. Maybe if he'd crossed in early, but I don't see anyone getting on the end of their crosses at the moment anyway. So, it's not like
you had a lot of good numbers in the 18 today, by the way. Every time you reach that final third, I saw Timber, I saw Madueke, I saw Zubamendi, I saw people making runs inside the 18.
Yeah.
I think actually I think Arsenal were braver than Chelsea today. Because when you reach the final third, you reach with numbers. Not like Chelsea.
Yeah. Can we talk about Arsenal's attackers? Because I get in today's game, they didn't actually need to score, right? Which is fair enough, right? So in isolation, we maybe don't want to look at it too much. But Martinelli's performance, we've seen this stretched out for most of the season. Madueke having a couple good dribbles and then crossing it into Rose. We've seen that for most of the season. Again, I think it's still maybe 1 or 2 GA now he's got in the whole season, which he just got against Leeds. So in terms of your attack, because even Eze, the big money signing, Havertz
I didn't like him today. I'm Eze's biggest fan. I'm not
like
him. I'm Eze's biggest fan.
I'm not like him. He's not been good since Tottenham, the hat-trick. Since then, what has he done?
I didn't like him today.
Yeah,
my thing is
I don't know why is he in his shell, though. Why is he in his shell? Like, why is he not doing his thing?
He doesn't start.
He's not used to this level, I don't think, of intensity of the game. Like every time I see him, he looks like he feels like he's got 3 minutes of time, and he's always got 10 seconds. He never really he's not quick with the game, the tempo. So I don't know. But when he does have the ball, and he has done stuff for us already to win us points this season, like the assist to draw against City and a couple of good. Like he's good with the longer balls, and I think for a counter-attack kind of game, I thought it might work a bit better for him. But quite often he just looks like he's running around in the middle there, like behind his man the whole time. So I don't know. Oh, now I'm all blurry.
Yeah, he ghosted today. He ghosted.
Keep going, ads. Keep going. I'm sorry, I have to interject with Eze. Keep going. The attackers.
Eucharist in general, like obviously, you might not need your attackers to improve to win the league, because obviously we can see the quality of the league is a bit different this year, right? But
I want to defend Martinelli a little bit though, because he's got 10 goals or something, right? He's out. I think he set a record or equal Elney's record for Champions League goals.
He started off really good, and in Europe he's been great, but domestically, especially of recent, it's not been.
Yeah, but you have
people were cooking.
Even today, I thought he was pretty good. Like he was running all over the place. Like he's trying to do a lot of defending and attacking at the same time.
Can I address something about the attacking thing that you said just right now? I think you have to look at the whole league, because again, we can talk about the Arsenal attackers. Fair enough. You can talk about Gyökeres as an individual. I don't think he's doing enough, but Gyökeres already has 11 goals and assists across all competitions for Arsenal, right? And we can say he's still not doing enough. Again, he looks bad on the eye. He looks like he's wearing boots. But then let's look at the league in general. In the league in general, up until last weekend, Ekitike was the third striker to join two other strikers to have double-digit goals, which is Erling Haaland, Igor Thiago, and Ekitike. If Ekitike did not score that brace, he was on 8 goals. The average striker in the Premier League across the rest of the 18 teams. In fact, Man City have 2 players, which is Semenyo and Haaland, with double-digit goals. And Igor Thiago with his 16 goals, 17 now. 5 of them were penalties. So if you sit down and look at that, it tells you that strikers are struggling across the board. Right, Gyökeres is not good enough. Don't get it twisted. He's not good. I'm not saying he's good enough. But coupled with that, strikers across the board are struggling in the league, in the Premier League. But we see that when we go to the Champions League, the Tottenhams are doing very well. The Newcastles, the Man Cities, even though they had like Bodo Glimt, whatever, they qualified in the top 8. Like all the English teams seem to be doing well in Europe, which tells you that the style is different in Europe. Teams are opening up more. Teams have found ways to defend in the Premier League. There's been 18 0-0 draws right now in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
offensively for sure, but obviously strikers, you're absolutely right. But I wasn't even talking about necessarily Gyökeres, because today Gyökeres, I'm not going to talk about him much because he didn't create anything for him. When you did have quick attacks, he didn't necessarily play it quick to him, and we know that that's his game. If you're going to play the slower type of game, it just doesn't suit Gyökeres. But in terms of the rest of your attackers, though, like the stats have been out there in terms of how many GA they've got in the league or over all comps in the last, 10, 15 games, and most of them aren't in good form. So again, I just feel like my question more is, have you seen anything that gives you the impression that somebody's going to step up and maybe get more, other than Havertz, who's come in and, to be fair, has given you guys something? So maybe is it going to be just him that's going to step up, or is there anybody else you feel like might go another level in the next few months?
If you look at the Arsenal team is the way we've been playing this whole season. I don't think that there's going to be like a major player that will step up. It's been a team effort. We have 15 players across the whole squad that have scored more than 2-3 goals each. Like we have 15 players across the whole squad. So the goals are being shared somehow, some way. Maybe because of the way we set up, because of the way we play. Maybe because we're also good at set pieces. Again, when you're good at set pieces and you have a Declan Rice taking the set piece and a Bukayo Saka, that takes a goal away from them. It only gives them an assist. The goals now go to the defenders.
Can I share a clip with you guys? Just a quick clip from Ali McCoist that was talking after the Leeds game. Just listen to this quickly.
Bukayo Saka, of course, injured in the warm-up. But Noni Madueke took his place. What a game he had.
But Jeff, that's him. And you've heard me going on about him for weeks and weeks and weeks. I think he's a different level.
Yeah.
I really do. I think he gives you something in a wide area that none of them give you. Yeah, he'll lose the ball. Yes, sometimes he'll infuriate you. Yes, sometimes he'll do too much on it. But you cannot put a price on a winger that gets by 1 or 2 people and the whole picture changes once you get by them.
No,
and that's exactly what he does, mate.
He was brilliant. He's nailed on for a place in the England squad.
Yes.
And maybe the England starting lineup. Who knows?
Yes.
Whoa.
On current form, and I know Saturday, you could say Saturday, well, it wasn't a one-off, but Saturday certainly highlighted the fact. I think he starts in that position for England.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me at all. But the impact he had certainly in that game the weekend was brilliant. Look,
What do you guys make of this clip?
You had me.
They don't want Arsenal. They don't want.
What do you guys make of, seriously? What do you guys make of this? But this is not footy judge Mo, so there is no. This is not footy judge Mo. This is Ali McCoist and Jeff. We know that Jeff Stelling doesn't like Arsenal, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, right? I'm not sure. What do you make of this clip? Ads. What do you make of this clip?
Yeah, that's horrendous. I mean, at first, in terms of breaking down Noni's game, yeah, I agree. He does give Arsenal something different. He's direct. He praises that kind of enthusiasm, which we don't see a lot of in Arsenal. Martinelli's quite, safe in his gameplay now. Saka doesn't take as many risks as he did before. Noni takes the risk. His dribbling's great, but then the end product is normally quite poor. And he said that he's in good form now. I mean, prior to Leeds, all the Arsenal fans are being like, "Oh my days, he's done nothing for us. He's got no GA in the league." They were all crying, complaining, and now one game and it's switched. And I think it's just that, top of the table bias. Ultimately, no, this guy's not starting for England. Like he's gonna probably get on the plane. He's gonna be a backup to Saka, and that's about it.
I think again, Noni Madueke gives you a different type of a profile on that right side. And he is a threat, but he has no end product. But he is a threat. Again, most defenders will hate to play against him because of how he drives at you. Because it's either going to win a corner, and if he makes it in the box, you don't want to touch him. Like, defenders don't like.
Ayo, I have a hot take.
They don't like wingers like that.
I think. Yeah, real quick. I think if Max Dahlman was healthy, he would be way more effective for you guys than Noni Madueke. But yeah.
Again, this is what I will say. That's a hot take. Max Dahlman is a talented kid, but it will be irresponsible of Arsenal as a football club to put the responsibility of carrying this team on the right hand side when Bukayo Saka is not there on a 16-year-old to say, all right, you're the guy who's going to step in. Noni, of everything that we don't like about him, which is the end product, everything else, Noni Madueke has more experience in the Premier League than Max Dahlman. Yes. Noni Madueke has more experience in the Champions League than Max Dahlman. Noni Madueke has more experience in Europe than Max Dahlman. Noni Madueke has experience in FIFA World that he played with you guys in the FIFA. Like, regardless of all the things you don't like, you can't take away the experience and just throw it out the window as well. It's about training the player to be better in his end products. If Noni Madueke had end product, I guarantee you will be saying something different. Again, we've seen that he can also have end product in the Champions League. We've seen Waldies that he took for Arsenal in the Champions League, scoring with his head, arriving late in the box on the corner with a crossing, heading the ball in, being the guy taking on two players, driving in between them, and instead of falling down, taking a shot, top bins. But can he be consistent with that? If he's consistent with that, I think you can have an argument.
I think this is cheeky though, right?
It's a quick question, just because obviously you've got to the final now. Your first final in 7 years.
6 years. 6 years. Don't make it. Don't add.
I like to round up, so my bad.
No, round down. It's 6 years.
Okay, 6 years. How important is it for you guys to win this? Because obviously we get it. It's not the be-all and end-all, the Carabao Cup. You want to win a major. You want to win your first league in 20 plus years. Your first Champions League. I get it, and you're in a good position to win one of them. If not, maybe both. You can challenge for it. But how important is it to actually win that game? Because it's likely going to be against City, and obviously it'll be good to win it. But I'm thinking if you don't win that, it's given where City could be in, if they're so close to you in the league. I'm just saying it could be a bit of an issue if you don't win.
I like what you guys are doing. Like, first we've turned this victory into how can we make Arsenal's attackers look like crap, and now how can we make Arsenal sweat a little bit about this final? But Arteta has a perfect record at Wembley as a player and a manager. He's been there 12 times and he's won there every time. So I'm hoping to keep that intact. Importantly, and I think that it's really important for us to win. We have to crush City. As I said before, I want to beat Pep as many times as I can before he runs away with his tail between his legs. And this is a perfect chance to do it on their head tops and get that momentum in our pocket. And we haven't had the squad to do it, multiple competition stuff until now. And so there's no real excuses not to.
Yeah, true talk. And I'll say this again. If you remember Arteta's first FA Cup, we beat City in the semi-finals and beat Chelsea in the final, if I'm not mistaken. And this time around in the Carabao Cup is spun. We beat Chelsea in the semi-final, and I hope that we can actually just repeat what we did that time and go on to beat City in the final. Again, it's not about looking at what they're doing. At this stage, we have to get over the line. it will be very important if they win because it will give the players something to taste. And it's in 47 days or 50 days like that. I think it's end of March, right, for the final. So there's still time. I think what I want to look at right now is the next game, the next Premier League game. If we can go 9 points ahead the day before, when City play Liverpool, let's see what happens. Then we will know who really has the pressure when the final comes, when I'm 12 points ahead by March, or I'm 11 or 10 points ahead by March. So when I play City in April, win or lose, I can comfortably just be chilled to know that the Premier League is almost done. So yeah, the Carabao Cup, very important. I hope we go on to...
Also wait, Mo, one last thing on that. When we won the FA Cup, the COVID was a problem. We didn't have a chance to really celebrate that trophy. So it almost feels like that didn't exist. I know a few other people had that problem, like Liverpool when they won the league and stuff. So it would be a good chance for the fans and the team to have like a really like happy moment instead of like a stressful moment. Always is. Anyway, sorry, Mo.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say something about. I've been saying this for ages now, which is the difference between this Arsenal team and everyone else. To be honest with you guys, is that every time Arsenal lost a game this season or dropped points, they weren't dominated. This is why I push in the agenda that Arsenal are not good. If you look at Arsenal team now, you look at in Man United, they created more XG. I get Man United deserved the win. But this Arsenal team are never dominated. Chelsea say that in the 1-1, they weren't dominated. Arsenal created more chances than Chelsea, but there was 10 men. This is the difference between this Arsenal team this season and any other Arsenal team that has challenged for the title before. Arsenal are always in control of the game. And it's not only position, because City would control position. We watch City against Man United control the position, but they aren't in control of the game. They aren't creating enough because City created 0.68 XG and Man United created 2-point-something XG in that game when they won 2-0. That's the difference. Arsenal this season, the way I think I trust Arsenal more than any other team now, even in Europe, by the way, even against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich had moments, yes, but you watch that game and you're like, yeah, Arsenal were in control against Bayern Munich. They weren't just lucky to win the game. It wasn't just 2 moments. Like Arsenal don't win the games in moments when they were the second best team on the pitch. And I think that is what gives Arsenal fans a trust, right? This season is they are always in control. You know what I mean? And I know that a lot of people say it's boring, but they are in control. It's you know what? I think that this reminds me of City team back in the days. You remember when City lost to Wolves 2-1? City were in total control of this game, created more chances than Wolves, and Wolves hit them in 2 counters and they won. Right? I'm gonna say that this actually provides assurances and confidence to the team that you are in control. And this is what Arteta created. This is what Arteta created, which is that coach. He's a shit coach. Yes, he makes Arsenal fans comfortable. You can say boring, but it's comfortable.
It is not
boring narrative, man. Like even Liverpool
people
fans
don't understand how hard is it to build.
It is not Mikel
have a
Arteta's
squad.
responsibility. Mikel Arteta is not a clown, a court jester. It's not his responsibility to entertain you. That's not his job. His job description from the ownership is go and win something now. We've invested in you. However you do it, that's on him. And most people that are saying all of this nonsense, right? We can turn around and look at the Chelseas of 04-05, right? Conceding very limited goals, setting the record. You scored 78 goals that season. It's not like you scored an insane amount of goals, right?
Yeah.
You just play good football. I think you would park the bus when you needed to. You play mid block, you play low block, and you knew you had the players when you countered. Drogba you knew it was happening. You knew when the goals are going to go. It was boring. It was like, okay, when Chelsea was going to score back then. Like the minute the defense defend, once that ball goes through, you're just like, you know what? Yeah, the goal is coming. You see it.
Yeah. And obviously, I think definitely the thing with that is obviously my webcam crashed for some reason, and I got to go see it anyways. But you're right. Obviously, with that Chelsea team, it wasn't like super pretty, but obviously our big players stepped up in big moments, Frank Lampard especially, and carried us to the league. And obviously, you're not doing it a slightly different way, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as you get it done. It's funny. It kind of correlates. It kind of correlates with today's game because we lost, it makes it look worse that we played such negative football and then lost. Obviously, it will look the same for you if you don't win the league playing negative and pragmatic. But right now, you're on course to doing it. You're doing everything you need to do to be top of the league in the Premier League. You top of the league went perfect in the Champions League. So obviously, you're doing something right. And obviously, people like myself, you are haters. I'm an admitted hater. I'm a hater of Arsenal. I want nothing but bad for your club. I'll admit that now. Our hope, us haters, is that maybe the pressure gets to you. But if City are close to you in April, it doesn't matter about pressure. And in the Champions League, obviously, it's going to be heightened games, and maybe the set pieces can get you through. But you would imagine that maybe Champions League, naturally, your big players need to get you out with big moments. But it could just be set pieces, right? We'll see. But ultimately, if you guys get over the line, it doesn't matter how you do it. It's just about that you've done it, and you just have to do it at this point.
I just have
because
to say that
10 years. Wait, real quick, because 10 years down the line, no one's gonna be like, oh man, these guys like they score like 20 set pieces, 30 set pieces. They're just gonna.
I expect you guys to hold that much of a grudge that you will bring that up in 10 years' time.
I mean,
that really was the worst ever.
I'm not like Martin. You know me. I keep banging on how boring you guys are to watch at times, but hey, at the end of the day, we had boring teams too that won everything. That won.
Look,
so it's like
exactly.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Yeah. 22-23.
Big up ads if you want to go. Big up ads.
We played beautiful football. 22-23. What did it get us? Nothing. For me, the most important thing is like I've seen an Arsenal team now that is dynamic, and for me, this team is really dynamic. When we go to Champions League, you see how we play in Champions League. We played Inter. I didn't think my biggest thing I was like Inter away. Maybe we get a draw 1-1. But we went there with 7 players changed and bopped them.
Yeah.
We played Bayern. And you can see how the team shape shifts whenever we play different teams. In the Premier League, sadly, you need to realize that the middle ground of the Premier League has elevated. It's not like the top has dropped. When City is trying to catch Arsenal, guess who they went to go and buy? From Crystal Palace. And we talk about Crystal Palace like they're a bad team. They bought Maguire from Crystal Palace. They bought Semenyo from Bournemouth. They didn't go to Madrid or go to Barcelona to get players. They stayed in the same league. And that's to tell you the kind of quality of players that are in those mid-teams right now. That's why those teams are hard to beat. It's clearly there. That's why those teams are hard to beat.
What frustrates me is that...
But yeah, I have got to off, but it was a good show, guys. Appreciate it, man.
What frustrates me is teams come to Arsenal, have a hard time, and then they blame us for being boring. Like Liverpool, I was watching Liverpool fan, Grizz was watching this game going, oh my God, this is boring. This is the... What did Liverpool do when they came to the Emirates? They did sweet F all. They just passed it around doing rondos in the halfway line. So it just seems to be that people have like given up trying to attack us in a traditional way.
Yeah, City.
That's what pissed me off though. That's what pissed me off today with Chelsea's tactics is because like we saw how Man United won that game. If you're gonna beat Arsenal, if you're gonna beat this team, you have to not be afraid of attacking Arsenal, and you have to be direct. You have to be direct and very precise.
Everyone that tried to attack, including Bayern Munich, got slapped.
But that's the gamble you have to take, and that's what makes them a good team. It's either you roll the dice and trust your own players to go and do the job, or you just have a boring game and you just watch it all.
Even City came to the Emirates. City came to the Emirates, and Pep Guardiola, for the first time 10 years being at Man City, had his lowest ball possession XG ever.
Yeah.
At 32%.
Let me do this. I don't understand. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Kim Jong Un is entertaining. I don't know who's Kim Jong Un. Who's that?
That's a dictator.
That's the supreme emperor.
The North Korea guy.
Of North Korea.
Yeah, man. For the couple, if you lot know ball, Pedro was told to pull the center backs out deep to create space behind, which nobody ran into. Hincapié, they didn't need to attack, just cover Gabi and Saliba. I think you missed my point. My point is when he gets to the byline, I didn't ask for him to attack. When he gets to the byline, I think your fullback need to create. But now you explained it. I'm not sure if you like the performance today or not, Capo, to be honest with you. I don't know. Maybe you still want Arteta out. Maybe you want to, even if he reached the final. Maybe you want Arteta out still.
Wait, that's Capo. What did he say? If you let new ball, Pedro was told to pull. Oh, okay. So is he happy? I can't tell if he's happy. He's always mad.
He's mad. He's mad.
Pedro was told to pull the center backs away, and Hincapié was told to just stay there and cover. I agree, but I agree. The same thing is like
there was nobody running in that space, bro.
Exactly, and you can
There was
also
nobody running in that space.
You can also control game like by actually keeping the ball away from the opponent. Like you don't have to. Sometimes again, you have to look at the team that you're playing against. You cross that ball in, you miss it. They have players that can hurt us. João Pedro, it's one ball over the top now, and it's João Pedro right in behind you. One-on-one with Raya, I guarantee you. I guarantee you 95% that's a goal. If João Pedro misses that goal,
the people missed that. It's exactly. He already was in an attacking position, so he clearly didn't cover Gabriel and Saliba at that time. That's the point. That was my point.
I know, but
that was my point.
I agree with you on your point.
And I know Dayo said that, yes, he was instructed to keep the ball. I get it's a debate.
Yeah.
But
I think it was an instruction for them to keep the ball, regardless. Like, listen, because now you're no longer in defense. You've left Gabriel and Saliba, who like to come up.
I want to have a comment. Are you guys worried about your attacker role?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
No,
I really okay. I want because I'm hearing a lot of discussions. Are you guys worried about the likes of Martinelli, Trossard, Gyökeres, Madueke at all? I know I'm not trying to find the negatives because the team is winning. You're top of the league. You're top of the Champions League. The reason why I'm asking this is I know that Arsenal attacker capable of scoring goals. By the way, even Gyökeres scored against Inter when he was given spaces. So Gyökeres against Inter played the same as Sporting Lisbon. Why? Because Inter attacked. But we know that the teams against Arsenal aren't going to attack. That's why I asked the question. We know that it's going to get worse next season. It's the same as Liverpool and Man City. If you win the league, when you win the league, because I think the Arsenal win the league, it's going to get worse. Teams are not even going to try to attack.
But then there's going to be a summer, and you don't know what we're going to do in the summer. So again, it will get worse, but we will strengthen. Why are people predicting that we're going to keep these players in the summer? If the summer comes and realistically, we're like, all right, we've won the league.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the attack is because the players are bad? Because I don't think the players are bad. Or do you think it's the manager's tactic of slowing things down and keeping position and all this stuff?
I think there's multiple things. I think the manager's tactic of saying control the game, which is slow it down, control the game and keep putting pressure is one thing. But the second thing is this, right? We've seen across the board this season that attackers are struggling. But everybody talks about Arsenal's attack only. Literally, like attackers across the board in every other team, 18 other teams.
Because you are top, Dayo. Because you are top of the league,
so that should tell you something then. This manager has found a way to stay top of the league, scored the second most goals in the league, even with our attackers not firing on all cylinders. It can't get worse than this. It can't get worse than Gyökeres. Gyökeres already has 11 goals across the board. He's going to add a couple more before the end of the season. My point is Saka is going to come back. He's going to add a couple of assists, a couple of goals. Trossard will do his bit. Everybody's doing their bit. My thing is, at the end of the day, if we say the attackers are so bad, yes, we're top of the league. Yes, we scored the second most goals.
You can get better.
Right? So to answer your question, I'm not worried because at this point, it can only get better. You can only add to the goals that you've given me so far. Trossard can only add to the 6 that he's done. Gyökeres can only add to the 7 that he's done. It's
but the opposition's giving us too much respect.
Unless all goals dry out, which again is crazy. It can't dry out.
Got some good just now, though. I think
the opposition's giving us too much respect. If these guys aren't good attackers, then leave Saka one-on-one with his man. Don't double up on him. Or they've found ways to nullify the way we attack through our patterns. So we have to find other ways. And we've got 6-7 attackers of a decent level. I'm not saying any of them are elite, but we can 6-7. We can rotate them into different combinations per game. So this game was supposed to be a counter-attacking front 3, but Chelsea never really came on to us to give us that opportunity.
Yes.
So how was that supposed to work? But another team will be different.
And if you look at this, the setup today, sorry, Jacob, real quick, the Arsenal setup today.
Yeah, go ahead.
With Martinelli and Madueke, who like to drive at their men and cross the ball in, which is what Gyökeres would have thrived off if Chelsea had actually played up. And when you did finally play expansive football and you attacked Arsenal and we started in a low block, the minute we got the ball and we recycled it, it was one pass over. It was one pass over and it was done. So again, I think that I'm not worried about it because you asked me the reason, like I said, I'm not worried because of where we're at, number one. If we can achieve what we're at with the level that these guys are on, it can only get better. It can only get better. So that doesn't worry me. Now, can the goals dry up across the board? That's going to be very difficult when the team has 15 players that have scored over 3 goals each. right?
Yeah, but you got your midfielder scoring, your center
what I
back
mean.
scoring, your
That's what-
fullbacks are scoring.
That's why I said the goals will not dry up. Like, even if my attackers are not scoring, we have other people on the squad that can score. So for me, this season, it's team sport. Everybody get involved. If Kepa can score, please go and score. If Raya can score, please go and score. The bottom line is, I win the Premier League, I win another trophy this season. Then next season, if you want me to come and play beautiful football and free flowing and then destroy everybody 6-0, I'll probably have enough money to buy the quality players I need, and that's it. So for right now,
Yeah,
I'm not worried.
I'm here looking at your fixtures. You guys could go and rest a lot of players. Now you have Sunderland, then you have Brentford, you have Wigan, then Tottenham, and then Chelsea. You're gonna beat Tottenham, and against us, like I think you're gonna probably beat us because it's gonna be like a home game for you. So you guys have a pretty easy run of games. The next 3 games you could rest players and chill and really just focus on the chaps. And I guess the FA Cup, but the FA Cup is Wigan, so yeah.
Which is what Twinny here is saying is
that
that the only teams who can knock Arsenal out of the Champions League are the informed PSG and the English sides, mainly Liverpool or Newcastle. No one else in Europe can handle our pace and power. I actually think that currently as it stands, because Arsenal are top, because the second leg is at the Emirates, for me, Arsenal are favorites in the Champions League. I'm saying this. Arsenal are, and as it stands, the reason why, and there's a very simple reason. Arsenal scored the most goals and conceded the least goals. Haven't played Bayern, Inter, Atletico Madrid. You know what I mean? It's not like easy to do that, you know? So for me, I'm looking at this Arsenal team, I'm like, he found a way, as Dawi said, he found a way to make it work against low blocks, against teams that come at them. I think if Arsenal win the Carabao Cup, they might actually go, and I'm not going to say they're going to win a treble, but I think if Arsenal, hold on, if Arsenal win the league at Kanta, which is what I mean, if Arsenal go 9 points, 11 points and stuff like this, and there's 10 games left, I think that Pep Guardiola will focus on the FA Cup and the Champions League more than the league, because it is very unlikely that you will be able to catch Arsenal if you're 9 to 10 points ahead. The reason why, you don't only have to catch up your 10 points, Arsenal have to drop 10 points, which is a 4-game margin, right? It will be a massive thing. And I think
they're saying
Arsenal
quad in the chat.
No, I don't think. I think. I think Arteta's gonna throw away the FA Cup. I genuinely think.
If
he wins the Carabao Cup, he's gonna throw away the FA Cup.
Can I say something as regards to that? We can, fans are allowed to dream. You can dream of a quad, you can dream, and again, you can only dream of that when you put yourself in that position. We are in.
Dreaming is free.
Listen, right now, we're top of the Champions League, so we can dream of it. Dreaming is free; it doesn't cost a dime. We
got the guy that everyone wanted.
But top of the Premier League. Welcome.
Marsha.
Welcome, Marsh.
Hey.
How you doing, my brother? We're in the finals now of the Carabao Cup, so we can dream of it. And we're in the next round of the FA Cup, so you can dream of it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with fans saying, "Hey,
I have a dream."
Yeah. At the end of the day,
I want to put a comment up before we move. I want to put the comment up. Arsenal have no European heritage. I bet you are a Man City fan. Man City didn't have heritage, just period.
Chelsea.
Not European. Like Man City before winning the treble didn't have heritage. Not European heritage. Didn't have heritage. So
how do you know the City fan?
I don't know. It looks like he's a City fan. And like the way this person comments, it looks like a City fan.
Okay, I'm gonna
Might be Chelsea.
And also before Chelsea won the Champions League in 2012, they had no heritage as well. Not European heritage, just no heritage. And they created their own heritage.
Didn't it take Chelsea 50 years to win their first Premier League? It did, right? 45.
And then another 50 to win their second league or something.
You're right, Marsh.
It did. That's how long it took. Like, why are we talking? It took Liverpool 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? It took City 49 years to win their first Premier League. You know how many years it took Arsenal from 1992 to win their first Premier League? It took us 5 years. So when you guys are talking sometimes, I'm just like, okay, cool. And you've had 22 years, 4 tournaments every year, which is 88 trophies.
Wait, Dio.
I catch up to
Let Marshall speak. I want to hear what Marshall. He's got an
No,
expression.
but before Marshall speak, just let me do this.
What team does you represent, though, Marshall?
The fact that you have no idea that this guy owns Casually FC is actually a fraud. You're a Chelsea fan. This is one of the biggest. This is one of the biggest Chelsea content creators out there.
No.
My bad.
We need these sound effects.
I'm on Marshall's payroll, though. He pays me every month.
Bro, I need to get you on Marshall's. You're a Chelsea fan, Jacob. We need to get you in contact
I
with
told you
Marshall.
I'm trying to network. I'm not really too familiar.
I'm going to send you his number after. I'm going to send you his number. Arsenal could actually win every game until the Etihad. Yeah, I looked at the fixtures. They're winnable until the Etihad. It is possible, but I doubt it's going to happen because there will be Champions League. There will be stuff. So yeah. Also, Arsenal won't see Bayern and Liverpool until the final. You can see Liverpool in the semi-final. You can actually meet Liverpool in the semi-final. Actually, you can't see Bayern because they finished second, but you can see Liverpool in the semi-final because you can see them. 20. Congrats on 50k more, well deserved. Appreciate you, Ian. Thank you so much, Habibi, for the support. Appreciate the super chat. Who has that soundboard?
Marshall,
do you have the soundboard as a soundboard or it's right there on?
Yes, I got my soundboard right here.
All right.
Wait, how do you get the sound through? How do you do that?
Yeah,
it's OBS. It's OBS and it's OBS and it's.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Marshall, talk to me.
You know, Jaco, I'm glad you asked what fan I am because, you know, it's dark. It's dark, and if when it's dark, it's hard to see. So yeah, I want to make it clear that. It's dark. That's why, you know, you don't see anything up because this was the game that if we actually did something and made it to the final, then they would have given me hope for the season. But quite frankly, I don't have hope for the season now. This has sealed it up for me. In fact, I'll be honest, I wouldn't even be happy if we made it to top 4. It wouldn't faze me at all. I just be like, oh, well, here we go. Because to me, as a Chelsea fan, last season, being deprived of that top 4 place because we finished 12th under Potter, 6th under Poch, to have a manager or a coach, I would say, that would come in and actually get us back to the bare minimum standard at Chelsea, which is Champions League football, and then win trophies. Yeah, I was ecstatic. That was great that we're like, oh my God, Chelsea are probably back. And lo and behold, the story is what it is, and you guys already know how we got to this point. I don't have to reiterate it. We get Liam, who I do think is a good manager. I do think is a good coach, but I think he's in over his head. I think this job is too big for him, and it showed today. It really did. I mean, it's great that everyone who was all Maresca out and all this. Look, Maresca couldn't beat Brentford. Oh, Maresca struggled against Lincoln and Cardiff. Great. I'm so happy that Liam can get a result against Charlton FC. I'm so happy that Liam can get a last-minute winner against relegation side West Ham. The boys gave everything. The lads gave it their all. I'm so happy. At the end of the day, I'm a Chelsea fan. What do Chelsea fans want? What do? We win trophies. That is the one thing that we always batter over the head of Arsenal fans like Martin and Dio, that we have trophies, we have European heritage and all this and that. And listen, these guys can tell you today, I think it looked like for the most part, Arsenal were okay with the draw. They weren't their strong, dominant selves today. But what did Chelsea do? We weren't really strong or dominant either. You saw the lineup that was out there. We went out there to just hold the result and then maybe inject some energy into that second half and try to get something out of it. And listen, on paper, yeah, I guess that was the plan. Then it could have worked, but it didn't work. And people were going to sit here and tell me, well, if he had scored this and we would have called him a genius. Yeah, we probably would have. But the plan didn't work. So when the plan doesn't work, you have to react to what actually happened.
Adapt. Yep.
And it didn't work.
This is so dark because here's the thing. Is it so dark to the point that this is all in
And this
vain?
is why I've maintained the fact that I believe this team can go the distance in the title race, because this league is rubbed out. It's been shit for years. The problem is we've been on a rebuild during that point. But now this is our best opportunity to take advantage of that. The fact that the table toppers couldn't kill us, and meant to be mentality monsters, meant to be 90-minute merchants, all of that, they didn't have anything for us. 10 men or 11 men. That might be a bit more of a statement for us than for them.
And that's so damning too. I'm actually glad you played that because I think
Can I play the second one?
I'm sick to death of having to explain why Chelsea are good. We're second in the table. We bought PSG off the park. We bought Barcelona off the park. It's time to acknowledge that this ain't the same Chelsea from the banter era. This is a better Chelsea squad that will turn up for anybody that steps up.
The problem is, I can't even disagree with him. But, Martin, you're an honest man. You can tell me.
Sometimes.
We gave you a better game with 10 men in the Prem when we first faced you under Maresca than both these legs.
But that's adrenaline. I'm not. That's adrenaline.
You could say it's adrenaline, but
You
at
know
the end
that.
of the day,
You know that teams with 10 men, like Chelsea, like most teams, they will give you better games because it's pride, it's adrenaline. It's like, I don't want to lose. I'm gonna give everything. You play with 120% of your ability, which is something that is not sustainable. The quality will show. You know that.
where's your
Martin. There's a
adrenaline
lot-
today then, Mo?
Yeah, but that's the problem today.
I had
Your
Liam
manager,
Delap at right
your
wing
mana-
today, bro.
Yeah, Habibi, your manager set your team to fail from minute one by the
Enzo on
lineup.
left.
Yeah.
Your
Enzo
team
left
today,
wing.
your team, yeah, I swear to God, I said that before you come in. The commentators will say, yeah, Liam Rosinier's plan is to hold Arsenal. Bro, Arsenal are winning. Hold Arsenal what?
Yes,
And I was
thank
laughing like,
you.
what? What hold Arsenal? Habibi, Arsenal can pass. Like, the ball was with Raya, and they're waiting for him to pass. Raya can stay until minute 90, not pass the ball. It's like, fine. He doesn't care. It's on you to go and take it to them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, like, I just finished my show and I had fans tell me, oh, but you wouldn't have been happy if you lost 3-0. Well, I would have at least give it an effort and see what happens. Listen, if we lose anyways. Go for it. Attack. Do something.
And especially in the second half, we could have thrown on a lot of attackers instead of putting them on in the 60th minute. I would like it to be at least earlier.
That's what I thought the plan was. I thought at halftime, just bring in Cole, bring in Esteval. And that didn't happen. And it's just
Martin said something. Is that admission that there is a gap? Okay, here is the conversation that happened this summer. The gap between Chelsea and Arsenal are closing. Is the gap between Chelsea and Arsenal getting bigger to the point that Chelsea don't trust their team to go and challenge for the league next season as well?
Yes.
Because you know what, you're not going to challenge this season. We know that you aren't winning the Carabao Cup. You know that you're a bit far from the Champions League. You might. I don't think Liam Rosenior has, with all due respect, when you won the Champions League, you had Thomas Tuchel, he is the guy that is going to attack in the game that he needs to attack, defend. Like, he has way more experience, to be honest. Is there a massive gap between the two teams?
100%. And I think Maresca mitigated that, right? And I know, listen, I'm not going to like overly praise Maresca because that's the thing that I don't want to misinterpret. I don't want to treat him like he was Tuchel or Jose. He was a good manager for what we needed him for. Or coach, I'm sorry, I got to get that verb and word vocabulary out of my system now because we don't do managers here at Chelsea, we do coaches. So he was a good coach while he lasted, but he at least showed me, okay, I can at least set up tactically or set up some type of system to mitigate the flaws that are in this team. And we saw that. Like, even if you're watching Chelsea fans, you must admit that we haven't seen Moises Caicedo be anywhere near as good as he was under Maresca, under Liam Rosinio. He's dropped down a level. Genuinely, he has. Same thing with our defense. Our defense looks, I mean, today was probably the best our defense looked, but to be fair, Arsenal, you weren't really going for it either. So it was like, today was the best our defense looked technically, if you're looking at the stats, out of all these games. It's just, to me, it's just baffling. Like, if it was up to me, and obviously I understand Maresca walked away. He couldn't take what was happening behind the scenes. And so to an extent, if you want to call Maresca a coward or whatever, fine. I don't care. I'm not here to fight Maresca's battles. But at least make Chelsea an environment where you can keep a manager or keep a coach in the job, not force him to, not make him feel like he needs to leave. And if you don't like the football, and if you're not getting the results, at the end of the season, you get Rosinio, give him a preseason. He can do all this 5-4-2, 3-2-1, ABC, EFG, like whatever you want to do. Because right now, this man's experimenting in games that we need to be getting these results. We need to be winning. This team needs trophies. We need to reestablish that Chelsea is a team, is a club where you go to win trophies. And listen, Arsenal, kudos to you. You did the job in the first leg as you should have. You took advantage of the mistakes that Liam did because of the naivety. Did you notice the corners? You noticed the first game, how we set up for corners, and then this game. At least he's learning. At least he went back and watched the tape.
I was impressed by that. Oh, we're going to try something different, but then we nearly scored off it. That was the handball potential penalty.
But another one that I don't understand how they didn't look at it.
I've
How do you lead
shocking
with
this game, by the way, for both
Bro,
sides.
how do you lead with your hand? I don't understand.
He
I mean, you're
like
leading
this,
with your
so
hand,
dial, like
and it's not only that you're leading with your hand on the shoulders. You're literally, it went to a corner off your hand that is stretched out, and they didn't look at it. I'm like, this is a penalty all day long. But I'm like, whatever, maybe they have something else in mind.
Yeah.
But I
This
feel
is
sorry for Marshall because, you know,
shocking.
I think that Chelsea fans are in a position where they were ready for something serious. And Liam Rosenior seems like a motivational speaker that's here for vibes, that wants to try reinvent managing or coaching or, you know, into...
Martin,
like,
the team has gotten worse from the recruitment. The recruitment is the biggest thing that's holding us back, in my opinion.
For
Which
sure.
is why I said, like,
No, but
I
your
think
players
Maresca
are getting
mitigated it.
worse. But your players are getting... Caicedo
Yes.
was very good. Started the season on fire.
Yeah.
And then since that red card, I'm not... What is this Caicedo? Why is Caicedo turning into a regular player? Just a tackle.
He's
By the way,
misusing him.
he got dribbled today again against the players just go past him today, and I'm like, the last game against Fulham, against West Ham, I'm sorry, similar. He gets dribbled past, and I'm like, what happened to this guy? What is his tackling ability and passing ability? Yes, he did some good stuff, but he isn't the same monster as before. He's getting worse. I think Malo Gusto's getting worse as well. He started under Maresca to hit the highs, and then he's getting worse, right?
Mhm.
Why is happening? Fofana is not the same guy. Like every time he played under Maresca, he looked all right. Enzo Fernandez is up and down. Estevao now, from being compared to Yamal to being compared to Martinelli now.
Yeah.
What is this?
This is why I wanted Maresca to stay, but these people were, and especially in the fan base, they would nitpick every little thing he would do, and they wouldn't realize that, hey, he's not going to play all the players because he doesn't see in these bench players any level that they could rise to compete for like a starting spot or to compete on the same level as a starting spot. And this is why I said, because at the start of the season, I was like, you know what, I'm going to give these new signings a chance. You know, we just came off of winning a trophy.
Yeah.
Maybe the sporting directors are cooking up something.
Exactly.
Now,
maybe there's something there I'm not seeing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And now we get to this transfer market. We don't back Maresca. At the start of the season, all Maresca wanted was the center back, like I keep saying.
Mm-hmm.
We don't back him. We sack him. And then we go get someone who hasn't even has any type of credentials in the same league as Maresca. Maresca under Pep, he won the second division. Not he's coming in with some type of experience that you could say he's won something before. Rosenior, all he's done, his biggest achievement is beating PSG. In a league.
Yeah, but I see the same pattern. I see the same pattern
regression
from Chelsea fans. When Maresca was hired, none of the Chelsea fans that we work with were like, Maresca was the lowest guy on that list. There was De Zerbi, there was Tuchel, there was Nagelsmann, there was this, there was that, there was even Amorim. But then once Maresca's hired, this is the Chelsea fans, apart from some Chelsea fans, that's the manager is hired and they start defending the manager, the new guy, and they start bashing the old guy. Like, that's happening.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing the exact... But when Maresca was hard, he started bashing possession. Maresca, I did my research. He's a very good coach. Same thing is happening today. Same thing is happening. By the way, people notice. I am seeing planned agendas on Twitter from the big accounts. And I mean the big account that has 500,000 followers and 1 million followers. Bashing, nitpicking on everything Maresca did wrong. And highlighting every single thing that Rosenior would do. Like, he will do once, I was like, shut up. I told you I did my research on Rosenior. Bro, I've seen this movie before. It's the same thing that you did with Maresca.
And you know what's hilarious?
Same thing, by the way, it's the same thing that they did with Potter and Poch. It keeps happening. That's why I see some fans are blind.
These guys, okay.
I gotta go.
These guys would come in and they would have great criticism for the new coach, right? And then 2 weeks later, They're gonna drop a TikTok edit. Wow, I see the vision now. It's like these, a lot of these
But I've seen this.
big Twitter accounts.
The movie has happened 3 times.
They're
Potter to
propaganda.
Poch,
Exactly.
Poch
And
to
it
Maresca.
blows my mind,
does it.
though.
I'm saying
It's so
the same exact
infuriating.
accounts do
Can
the
I-
same
can I
exact
say-
thing for Chelsea.
Can I say something here? Like, I think the common factor in all of these things, the common factor between all these 3 managers is your ownership. That's the common factor. Again,
It's a shame.
you need to realize that your ownership, the same things that made, for example, Maresca. We understand that Maresca left, but they said mutual, whatever. And why did he leave? He said he felt like this was the last 48 hours was the worst of his
Mhm.
career.
Yep. No support.
Basically telling you that my hands are tied. There's no support. We've seen that with Rosinia already in the first 7 games. Why is Reece James not playing today? Because the medical team says he needs to chill. I guarantee you, Reece James is fit for the next game. All of a
Yeah,
sudden,
against the mighty Wolves,
yeah,
the big
so this-
season-defining
Hold on.
game.
Is Reece James injured?
he wasn't injured. They said something about.
They said
There was
fitness
2
was an
reports.
ultra-par.
That he did-
Dayu and Mo, there's
Fitness.
2 reports. One that him and Neto failed their fitness test, and there's another report that apparently he's being rested. So we don't know what to believe.
again, fitness tests. Like so. These are the things that I'm saying. I'm saying your
Club is
ownership.
not
Right?
going anywhere. Then this club is not going anywhere. And
I
the
know.
club World Cup and the Club World Cup and the freaking Conference League was just it's just paper over the cracks. It's like
And I want
yeah.
people to- Listen, I want people to-
But the
I want people
PR,
to realize.
Dayo, the
Sorry,
PR
let me-
is crazy.
I know, but
Dayo.
Mo, let me just say this. Let me just say this real quick, Jacko. A Reece James that can get on the pitch. If he gets on the pitch next weekend, you guys should start calling for your ownership to just get the hell out of there. Because again, a 70% fit Reece James is as good as 100% fit of some other players. That's how much I rate Reece James.
Yeah.
You can't take some of
Yeah.
your best players and put them away. and say,
70% fit Cole Palmer is better than the people that play today.
Better than-
70%, like what? And also, I'm gonna say something for the people that I
you know,
said.
and I
said
get-
go ahead.
Go on.
I said something about 3 weeks ago. I said when they hired Liam Rosenior, I think the fans should stop going to games at Stamford Bridge. And they called me crazy. And I said, Lazio
It's not going to
fans,
happen.
Lazio fans, they didn't attend their game
Yeah.
in the Olympic Stadium in Roma. They didn't. They went.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, the league has to interfere at this point because the season ticket holders will not, they're gonna lose their tickets. No, they won't. They won't. All of them, they won't lose their ticket if they protest for one game. The problem with Chelsea fan base and people that say Twitter. Someone told me Twitter and for engagement. Here is the new thing about the Chelsea big accounts, and everyone knows who they are, right? They all have channels on the playback. They have channels on YouTube. So it's not only for engagement. They go out in front of thousands of people and say these opinions. And the fans pick up on this and go to shows and say these things. Back in the days, used to be, Twitter for engagements. These accounts have faces. These accounts talk in podcasts. These accounts get invited to shows and they say these things. And people believe that Rosenior is, Rosenior, listen, I did my research. He has these tactics that work. He's so adept. Like the new word I'm hearing today, and before the game started, Rosenior is adaptable. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean is that? What does that even
Adaptable.
mean, adaptable?
Let me tell you what let me just tell you what I see with Rosinia. I think that the guy is trying to be what's the word? Inventive with what he's been given. I don't see why even in the last game that you played against West Ham, the squad you started in the first 11, like that should not have been. Then you finally changed it. And why did you change it? They probably told him these guys can only play 45 minutes. So put them on the bench. So again, he's being inventive with what has been given to him, and I think that's a dangerous place to be as a manager, because eventually there's going to be major games where you as a manager, you want to win that game because it's going to get you to the next level. It'll get the players to the next level. But then this independent medical team will tell you, no, well, this guy and this guy can only play 30 minutes.
And it's
Dayo,
so
I'm gonna keep it so
unfortunate
real.
'cause-
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's so unfortunate because my eyes have really opened up to Chelsea in the last 2 weeks, large part due to the fact that I finally went to London and I finally went to the bridge and I got to talk and meet some of these fans, these match going fans.
But you're not a real fan. Remember that.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Remember that
Apparently
you're not a real fan. You're not from
I'm
London.
not a real fan. I'm not
You're
proper
not a real fan.
Chelsea.
You're
none of
not.
that.
You're not proper. You're not from London. You're not a real fan. Remember
Exactly.
that. Yeah. You
But-
always have to remember this.
But you know what, Mo? This is the thing. And this is how I learned, especially with that silly protest we had a few weeks ago, which kudos to the people that actually went to the protests. I clown on the people who were bigging it up and saying all this and retweeting and liking it. All those fans that were saying so much talk about the protest that actually didn't show up, shame on you. You're spineless fans. So this whole notion that I had about the Stamford Bridge, the match going fans, it went out the bin. It turns out a lot of the loud
Casuals.
minority online. And these guys, they were inviting to me. They heard my accent. They knew I was American. They saw that I knew what I was talking about, and they were nice to me. They were very inviting to me. And unfortunately, even in an ideal world where they can all just don't go to the game, unfortunately, because Chelsea has such a limited capacity, even if these fans don't go to the game, which they won't, they will go to the game because at the end of the day, these fans are just happy with seeing good football and seeing their team win. And if
they don't go, the away fans are enough to fill up Stamford Bridge.
Not even that, Dio, but there's tourists and these fans that are always looking for tickets.
Yeah.
There will be other people that fill up the seats if it's not for those season ticket holders. So there's not much you can really do in terms of that because the stadium capacity is so limited anyways. But these match going fans, they don't care about what's happening up top and with Igbali and Stewart and all this stuff. They just want to see winning football. They want to win. They want to, they care about that. After Crystal Palace, these chants, it was 3-4 games for Liam, and they were already chanting his name at the end of the game. So these fans, they love Chelsea. They support Chelsea through and through. They just want to see them win.
Yeah, but I think again, see, this is the problem with your ownership that I see. Just to this super chat to this chat that
I wanted to respond to it, but I wanted to.
I'll just something real quick, right? The difference is the Arsenal ownership stuck with the manager. You've changed managers consistently.
No. That's not even the answer. That's not even. That's not even the answer. But I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the difference, JJ. I actually said that at that time. That is not good. I remember I said that it's not good enough for a top club to do this. However, the difference is when Arsenal hired Mikel Arteta, there was one plan, which is we're gonna get rid of everyone, promote the youth, which is at that time were Martinelli, there was Saliba who was loaned out, and there was Bukayo Saka. And they said, we're gonna promote these and buy completely new players. Mikel Arteta kick out everyone and buy new players. So that is your vision to build the team.
Vision. Work
right?
with him. Yep.
And they agreed that we're gonna be in the slums until actually we build it. Chelsea, which is the difference is you have Cucurella, prime, Caicedo, prime, Enzo, prime, Palmer, prime, João Pedro has been in the league for 6 years already playing Premier League football. Garnacho, who you bought, has been in the league for 3 years. You have Reece James, a Champions League winner. You have Rob Sanchez, he's already an experienced goalkeeper. So Chelsea are not rebuilding.
He's been really good this season.
Chelsea aren't in a place to get a manager and say, I want to rebuild in your vision. No. They are bringing Liam Rosenior and saying, I want you to make Champions League today. And I want you to win a cup today because that will elevate the profile of the club so we can make money. So they won't stick with Rosenior. If he comes 8th, they're going to sack him. So that's why the ownership, I am on the ownership's ass all the time. I gave your window 2 out of 10. When I rated it's one of the worst windows out of spending 90 millions in Garnacho and Gittins deserves jail time. Jail time. Genuinely
We got
jail
rid of
time.
Nicholas Jackson to replace him with Liam Delap.
Right? Liam Delap for 30 million is not bad. However, you knew that João
He's
Pedro
got
is not
one
a
goal in
striker.
21, Mo. He's got one
hold
goal
on,
in 21 games.
Hold on. Liam Delap is not a bad signing for 30 million. It's a no-brainer, right? But you go and buy a starting striker like an Ekitike. You go and buy a starting striker, maybe at that time, I know that Gyökeres is bad, right? I know that Sisco's bad, but at that time, these were the hot properties out there. You bought João Pedro. João Pedro is the deputy for Cole Palmer, basically, because Estevao is the right winger. Deputy for Cole Palmer, João Pedro. He played as the left winger at Brighton. He played in the 10 up. He was never the main striker for Brighton. He was always the second guy. So basically, you're going in the and then you had to let's call Gui back. Gui. What?
Gui.
Why is this? What is this? So Chelsea needed a 30 million striker and a 70 guy, which is who? It's Ekitike. And by the way, surprise, surprise, Chelsea were the first club in England to be linked with Ekitike in June. The first club to be linked with Ekitike in June, before even Newcastle spoke about him.
Yep.
So this is why the owners are bad.
But
The
Mo,
reason
you know
why-
the problem with Ekitike? They thought we would be overpaying for Ekitike. That's what they thought.
But they didn't overpay for Gittins, though. For Garnacho.
That's what I'm trying to say.
They
Exactly.
didn't
That's what I'm trying
overpay.
to say, Mo.
Exactly.
But we can't also ignore the fact that your ownership has set up a model that will not attract big real players who are like top tier. When you have a
They were.
no. Let me land.
In
Let
the
me-
summer, they were, Dayo.
let
They
me
were very
land.
attractive.
Let
for the
me
Club World
land.
Cup.
Let me land. I'm talking about their salary structure more.
Yeah,
Their salary
that's a big
structure at
factor.
Chelsea
Like
is a
Osimhen
big-
and stuff, right?
is a big factor. Yes, Osimhen is not
Yeah.
coming to take 150k a week to
Yeah,
then
yeah.
prove himself and get bonuses. That's what I'm talking about. I get it. I'm not saying they were not attractive. Don't get me wrong. Chelsea is still a big
Okay.
club. I'm not trying to. I'm not.
I have
you
a
know,
counter for that, Dio.
so I'm just saying that.
Please continue.
I'm just saying that your ownership is set up in such a way that there's so many little bottlenecks that if you pass this bottleneck, there's another one. Like you will get a Gittins who will take 150, and then you pay 60 million for Gittins. Garnacho will take 150, right? Right now, if you went to try and get a what's his name from PSG, Barcola, you think Barcola is going to take 150? No.
No.
You think that's what I'm saying. So again, you're going to miss out on having some of the so-called talented young players who are now the A pluses, and you're going to get the A.
Jeremy Jacquet rejected Chelsea.
Yeah.
Right out the door.
So
Okay,
Fabrizio
but here's-
Romano said, and by the way, it's not only the wages now, it is the attraction of the club. Do you think that Rosenior calling Jacquet and say, come play for me? Jacquet's like, who are you, bro? I'm getting calls from Liverpool.
But Mo,
I'm getting
I
calls
want to
from
add
this.
in some nuisance, right? Some nuance, right? Because we had the opportunity to go for Turkey. Turkey was willing to operate under the wage structure. Michael Olise willing to operate under the wage structure. Michael Olise only wanted like 25 grand more. So that was within the wage structure. And these same foreign directors, they passed up on both of those talents.
I know,
They
but that's
said-
what I'm
So,
Their
like,
negotiating skills are horrendous.
They're not
They've shown
exactly.
time
So
and time
I'm saying
again.
when we have the opportunity to go for talents that take us up to that level where
Mhm.
okay, it's elite, like a PSG, where they have a bunch of young players. Yes, PSG has some experience, but we're not trying to do all the way PSG, right? But we have the opportunity to go for really elite young talents, and they would just little small things where you could just sometimes bite the bullet. You take the little extra 25 grand, or you roll the dice on Turkey's disciplinary issues instead of going for Garnacho with the same disciplinary issues.
So here's the thing I want to say.
It doesn't make any sense, Dayo.
Jacko, I agree with you. It doesn't make any sense, but at the same time, you have to realize when people like Michael Olise, right, is a talent that most teams are looking at, and he agreed. He was like, I'll come Chelsea. I don't mind. I'll work under the wage structure. I want 25 grand more. They're negotiating back and forth, and then Bayern shows up and Bayern says, "We'll give you 220. Just come to Bayern." Like
I sent
immediately
you
you
something.
lose. Immediately you can't fight in the market anymore. You see what I'm
But
saying?
the thing,
And
I
I
understand.
Mo, what I
those
sent
kind of
you.
deals, so those kind of
I'm
deals,
gonna
you
play it on the screen. I'm gonna just give me a
Okay,
sec.
because this
Yeah,
this
those-
is pretty
those kind of
much
those-
Chelsea's
yeah.
transfer strategy and how they work. I sent you. It's very straightforward and it's very, very like I could have told you Jacquet was not going to come to Chelsea. To be fair, I don't think we were ever in for him to begin with. I think it was all PR to just get the fan base all excited. So this is how it works, guys. And you can apply this for summer as well. The transfer window opens. Chelsea have a list of players in a position. Chelsea prioritized player only wants Chelsea. That was said by multiple outlets that Jacquet only wanted Chelsea.
Yep.
They take ages to sign a player, i.e. Enzo, i.e. Caicedo, i.e. Olise, so on and so forth.
Yep.
The player agrees terms with another club, and then all of a sudden Chelsea said, oh, we gave up on it because we trust Achimpong, we trust our players, and then it's rinse and repeat over and over again.
And that's my problem, Dayo. That's my problem. We took ages to sign Olise. Olise wanted only us, and we just, oh no, you sure you don't want to take down that 25 grand? 25 grand a week. Bro,
But
this
that's
is
what-
Michael Olise.
But that's what I'm saying. You have put in a model.
grand a week.
Listen, no. Your manager, your ownership has put
He
in
just wanted
a
an
model.
extra 25.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. They put in a model that is not a flexible model. Now, exactly what you showed now is probably how they operate. But why did they turn around and say, "Oh, we trust our depth"? Because they've invested money in them. They want a return on Gittins. Don't get it twisted.
That, but also it's to save face,
Yeah,
Dayu.
it's a safe face.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
on the business side, you've got they want a return on Gittins. They want a return on Garnacho. That's 40-50 million. Like that's 110 million worth of assets there.
Yeah, I promise you, the lineup was chosen by them against West Ham that first time.
Yeah,
I am 100% sure that he was instructed
Egbali.
that you need to play these players because they told him, listen, Rosenior, we have to sell these guys. They have to play so we can at least sell them, right? Because we cannot sell them if they are bad.
And you know
I
what's
am sure nobody in the right frame of mind would choose that lineup in the first half.
And
Like
I
you can
agree.
have some.
And you look at some of these players too, like, I'm sorry, you can't sit here and tell me that Tariq George, our academy player, is not better than Garnacho this season. We've had a left winger there that we could have used that has given us more than Garnacho has given us this season. And we just don't want to use him. Why? He's just gone off to Everton on a loan. We want to flip him for profit at some point because he's a pure profit. He's an academy player.
But that's why. But the reason you're keeping Garnacho too is because Garnacho is a 50 million player that the ownership is saying this. Regardless, if the more we play him, eventually you can sell him for 75 million. That's what
the best I can hope for Chelsea at this point, for any change to happen. I will never say I want my team to get relegated. Ever. Never. You won't hear me say that. Absolutely not. There are Chelsea fans that say, that's the only way we do it. We relegate it and then Blue Co. leave. No. And on top of that, even if Blue Co. does leave, you can't guarantee me that the next owners will actually be better. And unless you can, I'm sorry. We got to play it safe as well. Like, we can't just risk it all. Because that's how you get, like, what's his face from United? Ineos, right?
Yeah.
But you know what could make a change at
real
Chelsea?
quick, Daya, just to really quick say this, right? I think the best thing I can hope for at this point is if we don't make Champions League, if we continue to not get a front of shirt sponsor, and if we continue to just get bad results and finish mid-table and the bad transfers, you start getting players you can't even flip for profit. At some point, Egbali has to wake up and say, okay, these directors are doing a horrible job, even though you just gave them a contract extension, you idiot. These directors are doing a horrible job. Get out. At some point, that's what I'm going to hope for.
I know the answer for Chelsea, actually. I know. Can I say something? Actually, Chelsea have a good team. They just need the right manager. The problem with the right manager is he's going to challenge them on playing some players. Like that manager, because Chelsea's lineup, I'm going to tell you, Fofana, Chalobah, Cucurella, Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Palmer, Estevao, João Pedro, or a striker in the summer, and Neto, right, is not a bad lineup. That is a top 5 lineup. It's not about with some. You can say Andre Santos as a bench player. You can say Malo Gusto as a bench player. You can say there is Hato as a bench player. That's not a bad team. They just need a coach that is better than Maresca and better than Rosenior, a top coach, a Nagelsmann. They need
But they don't want anyone that will challenge them.
But what you're saying, Mo, is they need a top coach. They have a model where they've given independent medical team the power to decide how many minutes players play. You think Nagelsmann will sit there in that position, right? Because you have talented players, and then they'll tell him you can't use Cole Palmer this weekend.
We have to agree that Blue Co, that the ownership are not leaving.
Yes, we have to
just agree on this.
So my thing is
this is what Chelsea are now. This is what Chelsea are now. This is a Blue Co team. They own the club.
Marshall, I think that what will work in Chelsea and what will change their minds is when they are able to equate that the football on the pitch is what's really making them the money. When the football on the pitch gets really bad to the point where players cannot be bought at the price that they want them, when you realize that Gittins that you bought at 60, you cannot sell for, you have to let him go for 30. When that happens to them, in the first tranche of players that happens to them, they will change their mind and change their plan. I think that's what's going to, no, that's what's going to bite them because they're about their money. Think about it. You spent 50 million on Garnacho. If Garnacho plays badly this season, which again he's not looked good this season, even if you try to flip him, worst thing you can do is
dark.
You see, so when you lose money and your pockets get hurt, I think that's when they sit down and say.
But at least with Maresca, there was a chance that Maresca will evolve to be because he has the tactical nuance. He has a good coach. At least with Maresca, even if he was failing sometimes in getting results, but Maresca showed
a good coach will make
He showed signs that he can be a good coach, that he can work with this team.
But a good coach will only make.
But here's the problem. I'm going to tell you, Rosenior is going to be the same. If Rosenior gets results at Chelsea, he's going to start getting calls from teams that will say, we're going to get you a good, if you get out of Chelsea, we're going to give you a good team. We're going to give you some control of the transfer window. Come to us, like whatever team. You know what I mean? He can actually get a call from Atletico Madrid, from any team, from Aston Villa, and he's going to look around and he's going to start doing exactly what Maresca did, challenge them. And they're not going to like it, sack him, and get the next guy that will tell them yes. That's the problem. Every time a coach gets bigger a little bit, their head gets bigger, because Maresca won. He won the Club World Cup. He smashed PSG. He smashed Barcelona. He's like, I'm good. I'm not bad. I need some control. I need some good players for me to show you more what I can do on the pitch.
And it wasn't even that bad. Mo, it wasn't even that bad. He didn't ask for a center back until Levi Cole got hurt.
Yep. And what do you think it's... Wait, real quick, guys. Sorry about that. I know we all been like trying to get our thing in, but like, when you think it's common sense, okay, he's proven he's hit your benchmark, open up a little bit, loosen the reins a little bit, and let him give him some more to work with. That's
the problem.
Not crazy.
It's not crazy, but that's the problem with working with people who just look at money. If Maresca does well and you make Champions League, they make money. If they make money, they're going to keep that model. The model is working for them. Maresca is getting something out of these players. These players can be flipped. They will believe in that model. If that model does not fail, they're not going to turn it around. The truth is, if you bring in a good manager in Nagelsmann, and Nagelsmann takes this job, for example, and works within the confines of what they've asked him to do, and he's getting results, and you qualify for... You see, one of the biggest things that Maresca did for his CV was to win the Club World Cup and the Conference League. He did a good job on his CV, but he also did harm to your club, because now the ownership is like, you know what? It's working.
Look,
why do you think
the Club World Cup made them 100 million by itself?
Yeah, I know, by itself. Why do you think your ownership was able to look at Arsenal and say Noni Madueke is 55 million? And we were like, all right, well, hey, I guess it is.
Well, you're culprit in this, but
I guess a lot of teams, a lot of clubs are culprits, because you guys sell players like Mason Mounts, the 70 million. They're like, so again, when they're making money, they'll keep the model. When they lose money, I guarantee you 110%.
I agree.
When they lose, and again, they can't lose match day money. That's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Media, broadcast rights.
Not making UCL.
When Chelsea is not in the UCL, you're not in any of the major tournaments. And if you're like a United right now, who's one game a week, and you're not making enough money, that ownership will turn around.
But remember, Dayo, they are world champions.
I remember.
We need to be reminded by this. Every time you do A-listers.
I might be wrong, Marshall, but I understand that your ownership has to make a certain 1-something billion before they're able to even pull from it, right?
They already did it with the first few windows. Yep.
No, but they're supposed
to have to sell. They have to spend a certain amount. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, before they can start to pull any profit from the club. They can't pull any profit until they actually make that amount. So here's the problem. They want to make profit. So for them, this is a model. Let's sell. Let's get to that benchmark.
Chelsea don't make any profit.
So we can start pulling money out of it. That's what they want to get to. So sadly, this has to fail for them to realize that the best way to do it is get the better players, make Champions League every year, get to the quarterfinal, semi-final, finals of Champions League, challenge for the title, get second prize, make some money, and then you'll be able to do the thing.
I actually think their long-term plan is not to make money for the club. It's basically to make a couple of billion out of the club. This is how it works. They want to sell that business for profit at the end, in the end of the 10 years. It doesn't matter if we lose money here and there now, as long as the brand Chelsea that we bought for 4 million, we can sell it for 6 million like Man United or like what other clubs are valued at. Because 2 billion is way more than the dividends and the change they're going to make every season. Like that 50 million you're going to make there, or 20 million or 30 million profit after the revenue, the net profit, that's not compared to you selling the club at the end for 6 billion. Basically, that's because that's an investment. Because, bro, I've had friends that run businesses here in America. What they do is they say, give us your money. We guarantee you between 3 to 5 years, we're going to grow that money for you by 50%. Might not give you a profit in the middle, but you give us 5 million, 10 million, we're going to give you 15 million down the road. That is the most important things. Let me do this before we end the show. Rosenior has potential, but it's too big of a step up. I feel for him, though. He didn't have a choice either. He took the job or get fired from Strasbourg. That's another thing. It's twisting the guy's arm, but you have to go to Chelsea. But come on now.
That's where we're at right now. It's Blue Korea.
I'm going to say something. This Chelsea model, this is why I said next year it's going to be Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City. Chelsea aren't going to be involved in that thing again. It's not going to be, they're not going to be involved. You might not even make Champions League, and it's going to be a disaster for these players because I believe that the likes of Cole Palmer, Caicedo, Enzo Esteban, they deserve to be in the top competitions and play for top clubs.
They'll
And
try to
currently,
find a
as
way
it's-
out of their contracts. They'll try.
I
They
am
might fail,
sure
but I
they're
think
not
they'll try.
idiots. I am sure they have release clauses there. They're hidden.
Maybe.
That's what I think. But anyway, I want to thank everyone that joined us. Jaco's channel in the description, guys. Go and support Jaco, of course. Casually FC, of course, is here. Of course, the Gunner Edge, that is channel. Big up Marshall for joining us. That was a therapy. I haven't had therapy about Chelsea for a while. To be honest, big up everyone that joined us. Congratulations to Arsenal. Anybody think that Newcastle can do something tomorrow?
Maybe. What's the aggregate score?
I hope not.
2-0.
So they need to score 3 goals.
2 goals. You get 2 penalties.
2 goals, penalties. Maybe. You never know. They are the
never
defending
know.
champions, right? Yeah, you never
where
know.
is it? Where is
It's
it?
at the Etihad.
Oh, no.
I think it's
You never know.
very low
This
percentage.
Man City team is,
Very low percentage. I'm going to thank everyone that joined us. Guys, hit that like button. We didn't even get to 300 likes, guys, and we still have 800 people in the house, and we're ending the show. So hit that like button. Get us to 300, 400 before we end. I want to appreciate everyone that joined us. I don't know who's live. His staff is still cooking me and the guys. Yeah, staff is cooking us. So I'm going to actually go. I'm going to redirect to Staffy TV. He's cooking us. So I'm going to redirect to Staffy. And you guys, he's cooking Osam and Paz for today's show earlier. So you guys go and support Staffy. Oh my God, he's cooking us for real. He has his thing blocked. Staffy,
What do you sound
open-
worried? You sound
No,
a
I
little
don't care.
worried. Oh, man.
Yeah, Habibi. Yeah, Habibi, he needs to open his redirects. I don't know why his redirects are not open. I don't know why. Is it something that do you redirect to him, Marshall?
Sometimes he does close it. I don't know why. But
I
sometimes
don't
it's
know.
open. I don't know what he's doing. Carefree Lewis is on if you want to redirect to him.
Yeah, I
Chelsea
can.
therapy.
Staffy TV. Same. He's not opening the redirect. Anyway, maybe Lewis. Lewis is there. Lewis is good. Lewis.
Which day of us being world champions again? Which day is it?
I don't know, but Lewis will tell us. Absolutely. I will see you
That's the only
guys
thing I have to
soon.
hold
We're
on
out
to.
of here, people.
The only thing keeping me